The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
The New York Jets are participating in their second joint practice with the New York Giants ahead of Saturday's preseason clash. And right here on the Jake Asman Show, this Wednesday morning, we're here to provide you all with the latest news, the latest updates, and the latest reports coming out of East Rutherford. So let's get it started, baby.
Man, AG's first training camp with the New York Jets is underway.
We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quentin Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
It is the Jake Asman Show, streaming live right here on YouTube, and we're presented by FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of the show and the presenting sponsor of this show all season long. Bet on Jets Giants this Saturday using FanDuel. And for all your betting needs, for all your preseason betting needs, make sure you head over to FanDuel Sportsbook. What's going on, New York Jet fans? How we doing right here on this Wednesday morning? Connor Long getting things started for Jake Asman right here with you guys on the Jake Asman Show. Jake commuting back from ESPN New York, second day in a row, filling in for Rick DiPietro on DNR, ESPN 98.7. So he will be joining us shortly, joining us around 11 o'clock is the verdict I got. So for all of those watching live, there's the update. Jake should be joining us around 11 a.m. today. Make sure you load up all of your memberships and qualifying super chats, because at the end of the show, a Garrett Wilson t-shirt is being raffled off, one of the newest additions to the Jake Asman Show merch store. You see it there, the silhouette of that one-handed catch that Beast Breaker impersonated himself right here on this show. So make sure you get all your super chats, make sure you get all your memberships in the building, because they get you entries and an opportunity to win this wonderful t-shirt that will be raffled off at the end of the show. And they also give you entries into the weekly raffle right here on the show. And the sick prizes that are being raffled off this week include a Darrelle Revis signed jersey, a Nick Mangold signed jersey, a Wayne Corbett signed helmet. So make sure you get all your super chats and memberships in. They get your raffle entries and they go a long way here on this show. Make sure you smash the like button and hit subscribe. It is completely free, and it helps the channel grow significantly. Connor Long getting things started here for Jake Asman. Make sure you load up all of your questions, comments, thoughts in the chat. We're going to get to those. You guys can call into the show with the pin comment as well. Load up your calls on the Gus Buster hotline. We will get to that as well. Second day in a row, joint practice for the New York Jets and the New York Giants. Yesterday, practice was held at the Jets training facility in Florham Park, New Jersey. Today, the Jets are in East Rutherford at the Quest Diagnostics Training Center at the Giants facility. Second day in a row for joint practice. Yesterday was a very interesting day. It was a test for the Jets, their offensive line specifically, going up against one of the top defensive lines in the league. On the positive side, we saw Justin Fields and the offense get off to a very hot start yesterday, and 11 on 11's Justin Fields was off to a 5-5 start. He was slinging the ball. He threw a beautiful pass to Tyler Johnson that was fit through double coverage, and then things started to slow down. He took a couple sacks. The offensive line struggled. Olufashinu was rock solid on the left side, but rookie Armand Membu had some issues going against Brian Burns. I mean, when you're a rookie like Membu, going against someone like the caliber of edge rusher that Brian Burns is, his quickness, his agility, his speed off the outside is one of the best in the league. So let's not overreact here. Like I said, it's one joint practice against the Giants. The offensive line was solid, more than solid, against the Green Bay Packers. So continue to watch this young room trend in the right direction as the season progresses. And, a lot of moving pieces up front. You look at the 7th overall pick in Armand Membu. We're even seeing Joe Tippmann get some reps at guard with John Simpson out dealing with a back injury. And I see the tweet right now. We'll be providing you live updates all day long here on the show from East Rutherford, New Jersey, from these joint practices. Tweet right here from Jets Media's Richie, who says, Josh Myers is in the starting center for today's practice. Joe Tippmann is with the second team. So John Simpson, for those who do not know, John Simpson was dealing with a back injury, which left him sidelined for about a week of practice. That gave Joe Tippmann the opportunity to slide out and play guard while still in the starting lineup. And then Josh Myers getting reps at the center position. I'm going to pull this tweet up here on the screen so you guys can see it. Very, very, very interesting here. Now with Simpson back, Josh Myers is taking first-team center reps, it shows, and Tippmann is working with the second team. The center competition is real, folks. The Jets have been playing this up all offseason long, and I refuse to think that they'd ever bench Joe Tippmann. But doing things like this, I know it's just a joint practice, but making moves like this where you have Josh Myers working with your first team tells me that there's still a competition going on here. Because you don't see this at any other positions unless the ones where there's a clear-cut positional battle. Like you see this at the defensive tackle 2 position alongside Quinn Williams because there's a positional battle occurring right there. You see that at wide receiver 2 platooning. But this is a competition that I don't think should be real, but it is real for the Jets. Josh Myers was the starting center against Green Bay. Graham Tippmann was with the first team at guard. This tells me potentially that the Jets feel more confident in Josh Myers at the center position, which I don't know how. Josh Myers has been a starting center in this league for 4 years. I understand that, but he's been pretty much bottom 10 in the league these past 4 years. Joe Tippmann was a top 10 center last year, a second-round pick just a few years ago. You roll the guy out on the field who's the younger player, the player who has more upside, the player who was a higher draft pick, and has established himself more at the NFL level. That's Joe Tippmann over Josh Myers. The Jets gave Josh Myers backup money this offseason. He is a backup caliber player. He's a great depth piece. It's great to have depth. As us Jet fans know firsthand, offensive line depth is crucial. Crucial because a couple injuries to your line, and if you don't have depth, your season can be completely derailed and tethered apart. So I view Josh Myers as a great depth piece, someone who has versatility to play both guard spots, someone who can clearly play center as he's playing with the first team today at the joint practice. So I'm viewing Myers here as a depth piece, certainly not a starting caliber player when you look at who he's competing for that job with in Joe Tippmann. This is the first time Myers has gotten first-team center reps all camp long. Tippmann was running with the ones all throughout camp. Myers got first-team reps, like I mentioned, when Tippmann moved to left guard after Simpson's injury. This is the first time, though, and it comes at a later juncture in camp. This is the first time where we are seeing Josh Myers get first-team starting reps over Joe Tippmann in training camp this summer. What does this tell us? The Jets might have more confidence in Josh Myers to be the starting center this season over Joe Tippmann, which is puzzling for me. You paid him backup money. He's nothing more than a depth piece. He is nothing more than a depth piece, in my opinion. You can't bench John Simpson. You can't bench Elijah Vera Tucker, certainly. So where does Tippmann fit on this team then? He has to be the starting center. He has to be the starting center. You can like Myers. You can like his work ethic. I know that Aaron Glenn likes to talk about competition and breeding competition everywhere on the field. I understand that, but it gets to a point where, what are we doing here? Giving Josh Myers first-team reps over top 10 center last year, Joe Tippmann. It doesn't make sense to me, folks. It really, really doesn't. I want to hear all your thoughts in the chat, so make sure you throw all your questions, comments, thoughts in the chat. Load them up. We're going to be sure to get to those. Get all your gifted memberships in. Get all your super chats in, because at the end of the show, we're raffling off a Garrett Wilson t-shirt, the silhouette of the one-handed catch, the G5 logo and scripted right across the shirt. Make sure you get in on that, guys. Give memberships and qualifying super chats give you entries for the end of the show, so make sure you get in on that. I appreciate all your support as always. Make sure you smash the like button, hit subscribe. Connor Long getting things started for Jake Asman right here on the Jake Asman Show. Guys, load up all your questions, comments, thoughts in the chat. I want to hear what you guys have to say. We're going to get to you guys in the chat. Appreciate your support. Load up your calls. The pin linked at the top of the chat, so make sure you load those up. Click the Gusbuster hotline link pinned at the top of the chat. We're going to get to your calls as well. Appreciate all of your support as always right here on this Wednesday morning. Jake Asman should be joining us right around 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time as he is commuting back from the radio station. Second day in a row, Jake is filling in for Rick DiPietro on DNR. So shout out to Jake, doing great things, being the superstar that we know he is. Robert drops in with a $2 super chat. Robert, thank you so much for the $2 super chat, my friend. Says, all hail Connor, greatest analyst of all time. Robert, thank you so much for the kind words, my friend. And thank you so much for the $2 super chat right here on the show. I appreciate your support as always, my friend. And thank you so much for the kind words. Shout out to all you guys for the support. Thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate the kind words as always. Fernando has been an Asmaniac for 3 months. Shout out to you, Fernando. Thank you for tuning in. Says, only the Jets would make a competition with a guy who's actually been a good second-round pick. I just don't understand it. I don't understand it, Fernando. Like I said, I'm all for stirring up competition at positions across the depth chart where it makes sense. But it gets to a point where, what are we doing here, folks? What are we doing? Like, I know it was the unofficial depth chart as well. Joe Timmon, thank God, was first overall on that unofficial depth chart. But even the tight end position, for example, the Jets putting Jeremy Ruckert ahead of Mason Taylor on the tight end depth chart. Like, I love Aaron Glenn and the fact that he's stirring up competition, the fact that he's breeding this fierce brand of football. But it gets to a point where it's, you give the best player the role, the clear-cut best player the role. Never in a million years, when the Jets signed Josh Myers, would I think that he would be battling it out for this job with Joe Timmon. It does not make sense to me. It does not make sense to me, folks. You put the best player on the field. I cannot emphasize that enough. Thank you for tuning in, Fernando. Appreciate the 3-month member super chat. Says, Pat drops in, says, we have the slowest receiving core in the league by far. No way. Fields' fault. Lazard, slow. Reynolds, slow. Tyler Johnson, great route runner, slow. Tyler Johnson is a great route runner, and good point here made by Pat. You have Garrett Wilson, though, as that speedy route running technician as well. You have him as that guy. And he's going to be the one leading this wide receiver room, leading the pass catcher corps here. So you have Garrett, but then after that, there's a huge drop-off, not only at speed, Pat, but at talent in every single one of these wide receivers. Nobody reaches the caliber of football player that Garrett Wilson is in this wide receiver room right now. The other speedy guy I can think of in this receiving room is really Arian Smith, the player you just used a 4th-round draft choice on. He's the speedy track star. He's a Georgia State track star in high school. Ran something in the 4.33s as his 40. You have Jamal Pritchett as well, a UDFA from South Alabama. He brings some speed as well. Breece Hall, I expect to catch a lot of passes. He's a speedy, agile back. So sure, if you look at Lazard, Reynolds, Tyler Johnson, they're not speedy guys, but if you go a little down on the depth chart, Arian Smith brings some juice. He's able to take the top off the defense. So, there it is. No one is near the caliber of Garrett Wilson in this wide receiver room. That is for sure. But every receiver brings something different, which I think makes it a little unique here. That's what makes it a little unique, in my opinion. No one is near the caliber of Garrett Wilson. No one has the ability that Garrett Wilson does, in my opinion. So, everyone just brings something different, and I think that's what really spruces up this receiver room. David drops in, says, Connor, how would you offset the NYG advantage on the offensive line? Short passes, heavy. I think you corrected yourself here, David. Were you talking about on the defensive line? Their advantage on the defensive line, great question here. Their advantage on the defensive line, just experience, speedy guys, powerful guys, strong guys. You have players and just all around versatility and ability. This is a defensive line, with the Giants that has Abdul Carter, one of the most explosive players I've ever watched play football in probably the past 3 or 4 years. One of the most explosive players I've ever watched play football in the past 3 or 4 years. He is so explosive off the edge. He is so speedy. He is so powerful. So you have Abdul Carter on one edge. You have Brian Burns on the other, another guy, one of the fastest, quickest edge rushers we've seen in a very, very, very long time. So you have those two guys on the edge, while you have Dexter Lawrence, in my opinion, a top 3 interior defensive tackle in the league, bearing down on the interior of the line and on your guards. So all-around versatility here. And just ability on the outside. Speed, ability, power rush ability on the outside. That's the biggest thing, power. They win the power battle. Because you have someone who is so quick, so powerful in Brian Burns. You have someone who is just one of the most explosive players I've ever seen, like I said, in Abdul Carter. The fact that they're able to create havoc on the inside of the line and Dexter Lawrence is able to open up opportunities for those two guys to get to the outside is just, they're all over the place. That's the way I describe it, David. They're all over the place. It's just so hard to stop them. It's big name after big name, explosive play after explosive play. All right, you want to double team Dexter Lawrence on the inside of the line then? All right, you have Brian Burns flying at your blind side. So that's the thing. It's just so hard to defend because you have to pick your poison on who you want to go after, and whoever you pick, it opens up another opportunity for someone else. So that's what's so difficult and gives them such a clear advantage over an offensive line for the Jets that's certainly talented but still young and ascending. I want to pull up this tweet here from Brian Costello before you get back to your chats and we get back to the phone lines. Cause, I'll try to pull this up here on the screen. Let me, boop. Brian Costello, the New York Post, reporting today. I don't see Quinnen Williams or Jermaine Johnson. They probably stayed in Florham Park to rehab. So Quinnen Williams dealing with a calf injury. That's what we know about Quinnen. Jermaine Johnson activated off the PUP list just 2 days ago. He was seen practicing yesterday, but he did not participate in team sessions as expected. So it makes sense for Jermaine to stay in Florham Park. For someone like Quinnen Williams, who isn't dealing with a huge injury like Jermaine and needs time to rehab and ease back, I don't understand it. But for Jermaine, that makes sense. Why would you want to bring him here, risk any sort of injury whatsoever? Let him get back in Florham Park for the 3rd day in a row and let him continue to rehab. So just want to keep you guys updated on the latest from East Rutherford as the Jets take on the Giants. 2nd day in a row for a joint practice ahead of the preseason game on Saturday. And there will be a watch party for said preseason game. Make sure you are at T-Squared Social this Saturday, baby. It is $18 a ticket, but keep this in mind, folks. Emphasize this when you talk about buying a ticket here. The price ups to $23 on Friday. So make sure you emphasize that in your thinking. Make sure you get your ticket right away because the price goes up $5 if you don't get your ticket by Friday. Your $18 ticket gets you a Friday beer, 1 free shot, and a raffle ticket. And the raffle prizes they are giving away are super, super, super cool. Include a Brees Hall signed jersey that comes in a frame, 2 tickets to the Jets vs. Panthers, the Asmaniac group buy, a Wayne Corbett signed jersey, an AG signed jersey. So make sure you get your ticket, $18 before the price gets raised to $23 on Friday. Make sure you get that in and purchase your ticket. All the links are in the description down below. Rich Cimini, ESPN, adds no Sauce Gardner either. So Sauce Gardner, no sign of him in East Rutherford. Don't know why. We will continue to keep you posted if we get any updates here, but that's the latest from Rich Cimini. No description here, just no Sauce Gardner, no Quinnen Williams, no Jermaine Johnson, and then Brady Cook, who limped off the field with an ankle injury yesterday, is in East Rutherford, But no signs of Quinnen Williams, no signs of Jermaine Johnson, no signs of Sauce Gardner. We'll keep you updated here on the show as practice continues to progress, and we'll give you all the latest updates. Jay says, is John Simpson practicing? Yes, he is. John Simpson's back, and I think, Jay, that's what makes it so intriguing and so interesting here as to why the Jets would put Josh Myers at the center position when John Simpson's back. Joe Timmon is not with the first team at all. The first team is Josh Myers, John Simpson, Elijah Vera Tucker, Olu Fashanu, and Armand Membu. So, yeah, John Simpson is back. He was dealing with an injury, a back injury it was, that left him sidelined for about a week of practice. But, yes, he is back on the field, and he is practicing for the New York Jets. And all signs indicate he's participating in today's joint practice. So, yes, John Simpson out on the practice field today. And it'll be intriguing to see what we get out of him, what we get out of this whole offensive line the second day in a row that they are going against such a talented defensive line like the Giants unit. Folks, we appreciate you all tuning in right here on the Jake Asman Show. And the show is brought to you by ZipRecruiter. As maniacs, you all know how it goes. Finding the right player for your favorite team is hard enough, but finding the right person for your business is even harder. You could be buried in resumes and still not get that perfect fit, and that is the real challenge, folks. However, it's different with ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter finds amazing candidates for you fast, and right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/audio. Just like a great GM making the right moves, the second you post a job, ZipRecruiter's smart technology starts matching it with qualified people immediately, so you're not wasting time sifting through bad fits. And when you spot that star fit, you can reach out instantly with their pre-written invite to apply message. It's a quick, personal, and gets them in the door faster, just like a top free agent signing on the dotted line. Ditch the other hiring sites and let ZipRecruiter find what you're looking for, the needle in the haystack. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try it for free at this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/audio. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/audio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Thank you all for tuning in right here on the Jake Asman Show. Make sure you smash the like button and hit subscribe. It is completely free, and it helps the channel grow significantly, folks. Jake Asman will be joining us at 11 a.m. Connor Long getting things started here for Jake the second day in a row right here on the Jake Asman Show. Questions, comments, thoughts, throw all of those in the chat. Call into the show with the pinned comment. Super chats will come up immediately. Gift memberships, get your super chats in, because at the end of the show, we're raffling off the G5 picture, the silhouette of his one-handed catch, one of the latest ads to the Jake Asman Show merch store. So gift memberships or send in a qualifying super chat to get entered into the raffle. Please, please, please load up your memberships, load up your super chats. They go a long way here on the show, and they get you raffle entries as well. Appreciate all your support. You guys can call into the show with the pinned comment at the top of the chat. Let's go over to your calls. And up first today here on the show was none other than
I can't believe I got on so quickly. I had to wait an hour and 20 minutes before they dropped me on DNR this morning.
they dropped you.
Oh, yeah. It was, Stumper Rothenberg, and all of a sudden it just dropped. I understand it's big time radio, so there's time constraints and so on like that, but it's good to be home. Let's just leave it at that.
Oh, yeah. We always got room for you here on this show, Kyle.
So I'm wondering if, like, this unofficial depth chart where Ruckert is ahead of, Mason Taylor, and this competition is more of like Parcellian mind games for the 21st century, right? You can't exactly go around calling players she in this day and age. So maybe this is a way of trying to light a fire under Tippmann, paying some service to a veteran in the case of Ruckert, I think we're all pretty comfortable that Mason Taylor will be the guy when, September rolls around. Um, you know, but I mean, as far as Titman and Myers goes, if you read it in the chat, and I've said this before, Titman looks better at guard to me than he does at center. So I'm wondering if that's why they kind of held off on getting a developmental guard, knowing that both of our guys are going to be free agents next year. Is there an eye on perhaps trying to maybe develop Myers for next year and retaining him, maybe seeing if there is a guard or center in next year's draft to replace one of those guys? That maybe this is just them leaving options open. And the other thing that came up in the chat that I wholeheartedly agree with is, I think Bill M had said that Titman has a little bit of a snapping issue. I said that all last year. It looked like he was lollipopping a little bit of a couple of those snaps. And, in the whole scheme of things, it didn't cost you too much, because I don't know if there were any resultant turnovers. But at some point, it might come back to bite you, and it doesn't give a head coach warm and fuzzies to see, right? So I think this is it's motivational. It's competition at positions where they were able to bring in unexpected backup talent. They're trying to get the best out of Ruckert before he possibly goes out the door. There's a couple of things going on here. I think it's largely motivational. You can't say that you're going to have a competitive camp and not at least give the appearances of a competitive camp. I think that there are certainly some competitions going on in camp, certainly within the wide receiver room. But that's the only explanation I can kind of give for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I will say about the snapping issues, that was a huge issue last year. Everyone was calling him Joe Yipman all summer long, and that was a huge issue. Among the training camp practices I've covered, I've noticed no issues with Joe Tippmann's snapping ability. The only issues, frankly, I've seen with the center snapping was Josh Myers during the Green Bay game. That one snap that was a little over Brady Cook's head, and he kind of bobbled. He ultimately regained possession and completed the pass from it. But that's the only snapping issue I've seen. And I agree, Kyle. I like that Aaron Glenn's breeding a fierce, competitive brand of football, but it gets to a point where you just put the best player out on the field. And I think the best player, the best center on this team, clear cut, is second-round pick Joe Tippmann, who was arguably a top 10 center in the National Football League last year, over Josh Myers, who got $2 million, whatever it was, in free agency this offseason, and has 4 years of starting experience these past 4 seasons, but has been bottom 10 each year. I think Myers, is a high-end backup, and I think it's great to have a backup of his caliber who can play center, who can play both guard positions. But Joe Tippmann is undoubtedly the best center on this team, in my opinion. You mentioned moving him over to guard. That was his natural position. That's what he played primarily at Wisconsin. That's what the Jets drafted him truly to be. But my question to you then is, who are you benching? You can't bench Elijah Vera-Tucker. You certainly can't bench John Simpson after the season that he had last year.
I'm not. This year, I wouldn't bench anybody. I'm saying next year, when you have Tippmann under contract, when both those guys are free agents, one of them is definitely leaving. Right? That I think that we're both pretty confident in saying that.
Well, you can't pay 2 guards over $10 million a year.
No, you can't do it. You can't do it. And if you still have Tippmann under contract for another year or two, then it might make sense, depending on what you think of the crop of centers coming out next year, what you think of the crop of guards coming out next year, and who you might be able to get on the cheap out in the free agent market. And my last point is, speaking of Parcells and Terry Glenn, I wonder if Terry Glenn can still run, because we could certainly use an X, a true X in this offense. So, maybe he could come in and have a tryout or something.
Who knows? Anyone's better than Alan Lazard. Anyone's better than Alan Lazard, wide receiver too. So
it just goes to show that the Drake Londons of the world and the Mike Evans and the Brian Thomases, they don't grow on trees. I really appreciate your time. Yeah.
Of course, Kyle, I appreciate the call, and I appreciate the kind words as always, my friend. Great call, and thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you all tuning in right here on this Wednesday morning. Smash the like button, hit subscribe, get all your memberships, get all your super chats in the building. Raffling off a G5 t-shirt at the end of the show. You see the silhouette there of that one-handed catch. You see the G5 inscription. Gift membership, send in a qualifying super chat to get entered in that raffle. You guys can call into the show with the Gustbuster hotline link pinned at the top of the chat. Let's keep it going with your calls. Boomtown is up next here on the show. Boomtown, you're on the Jake Asman show, my friend. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you, Connor?
Living the dream, my friend. Living the dream.
My first opportunity to actually speak with you here.
Oh, yeah, of course. Great to see you in the chat as always. And finally, great to share the screen with you.
Yeah, so this will be pretty quick. I actually don't think it's a competition at all. I think for Myers, they're literally just trying to get him acclimated to the position. They need to know that he can actually play center for this team. And I come at this from an injury point of view, because the second that there's an injury on the O-line, if it's Fashanu or it's Membu, you know it's going to be AVT that's going to be kicking over, which leaves an open guard spot, which means Tippmann is moving there. If Simpson isn't ready to go or something happens to AVT, it's Tippmann moving to guard. There really isn't someone that's going to be better to replace those positions in that sort of order. So it's going to be Myers that's going to be up. So I think it's actually a smart play that they're getting him reps here now, because you can't sort of throw him in there in the middle of the season. He's not ready to help make his calls on the line, to help Fields run the offense. So I think it's quite smart that they're actually doing this here now.
You bring up a great point there, Boomtown. My counterpoint would be getting him ready for what, though? This is someone who has played center position for 4 years at a starting level in Green Bay. If anything, I'd want to be getting him reps at guard right now. There have been more injuries there. We saw John Simpson dealing with an injury. How about you let Tippmann play center where we know he'll be starting this season? And Josh Myers, given his versatility, how about he's the next man up when Simpson then goes down? That's my only counterpoint. If anything, like, we should be seeing him get reps at guard, for example. He started at the center position for 4 years at the NFL level. If anything, I think the Jets should be acclimating him to play in the guard position.
And they still might do that, but I think this is a new offense for him too, right? He had 4 years in Green Bay. This is brand new, and it's going to be quite different having Fields behind him as opposed to like the quarterback he had in Green Bay.
College, though. He played with Fields in college too. That's the other interesting nugget.
That's true. Yeah, it still takes time, though, and you don't want to throw him in there cold, because we know the past history with the Jets O-line. Obviously, you're hoping for perfect health, but it's going to happen. They're going to have to shuffle, and I think just the way I sort of broke down how the injuries would go, I think that's how it's going to transpire, how they're going to move the player and the personnel. So,
Boomtown, thank you so much for the call, my friend.
Have a great day.
You too, ladies and gentlemen. Boomtown checking in here on the show. Great call, as always. I appreciate his support, as always, and I appreciate him checking in on the phone lines right here on today's show. Thank you so much for all your support, as always, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you smash the like button and hit subscribe. Connor Long, get everything started for Jake Asman right here on the Jake Asman Show. Jake set to join us in about 30 minutes, so stay tuned for Jake. That's the update for all you guys watching live right here on the show. Up next here on the show is the Beast.
Right now, we're getting some gabagool. If you really want some gabagool, you gotta come get the gabagool. Catch you later.
Beast!
I've had a stressful freaking morning.
You okay?
No. One of my bread frames broke off, and I got lucky repaired it, and then I find out my ComEd bill was $464. Stress mania. It's too much today.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm in a very crappy mood today. I'm in a very crappy mood.
Looks like Beast was dealing with some issues there, so we will let him go here on the show. Thank you so much for calling in. As always, Beast, I appreciate your support, and I appreciate you tuning in right here on the show. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you smash the like button and hit subscribe. Open phone lines. If you want to call in to the show, you could do so with the pinned comment at the top of the chat. Load up your calls. We're going to get to more of your calls later on in the show, so make sure you call into the show with the pinned comment all the way up at the top of the chat. Joe the Jet says, hot take that nobody's going to like. Martinez is a better passer than Fields. See, a lot of people on the Adrian Martinez train after Saturday's preseason win against the Green Bay Packers, and he had a great game, sure, throwing for 150 yards, throwing for a touchdown. This is a preseason game against a third-team defense. Adrian Martinez is not a starting caliber NFL quarterback. Adrian Martinez, I don't think, is currently a backup caliber NFL quarterback. Adrian Martinez is a preseason arm and a practice squad guy. He is nowhere near the caliber of passer that Justin Fields is. We have not seen this guy play one down of regular season NFL football. So let's stop overreacting here, folks, and just look in the mirror and say, he's a practice squad quarterback, and he is putting up these numbers that aren't even that gaudy at the end of the day when you think about it in the preseason against third-team defenses as well. So calm down, folks. Justin Fields is still a better passer than Adrian Martinez, more accurate than Adrian Martinez. He's a way better quarterback than Adrian Martinez. I don't even know why I'm having this conversation here on the show. Adrian Martinez does not touch the level of Justin Fields as he is the passer and overall quarterback, most importantly. Dan, the Jet fan, says, Connor, any idea if Jake's running a survivor pool this season? I do not have an idea, Dan, but guess what? The second Jake joins around 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll pull this up right on the screen for him to give an answer. So appreciate you tuning in, Dan, and thank you for the comment as always. I appreciate the support right here on the show. Chicken Jennings says, Connor, would you sacrifice little Joey for a Super Bowl, or would you come to the defense of little Joey? Beast, would you sacrifice little Joey for a Super Bowl?
Enough. You bastards need to learn. Enough's enough. We
I think we will take that as a no from Beast on whether he'd like to sacrifice little Joe or not. Thank you, Beast. I appreciate it. I would do a lot of things to see a Jets Super Bowl. So my answer to this question is yes, I would sacrifice little Joey to see a Jets Super Bowl. Definitely. Anything to see this team win a Super Bowl. Anything to see this team get into the playoffs first. That's step numero uno. Get in the playoffs, folks. For the first time in 14 years. First time in 14 years. Haven't been in the playoffs. What a joke. Cisco says, yo, Connor, where's Jake? I missed the opening. Not that you are not doing an awesome job. Cisco, thank you for the kind words, my friend. Jake is hosting ESPN DiPietro and Rothenberg with Dave Rothenberg. He will be joining us at 11 a.m. EST. So in about 20 minutes, Jake should be joining us. So stay tuned for that. Jake should be joining us shortly right here on the show. Thank you all for tuning in. Keep the questions, comments, thoughts flowing in the chat. Get all your memberships in. They give you an opportunity to win a G5 t-shirt we're giving away at the end of the show. Get all your super chats in. They go a long way as well. Load up your calls. Gustbuster hotline, link pinned at the top of the chat. Up next here on the show, Adam is too cool joins us right here on the program. Adam, it is good to see you for the second day in a row, my friend.
Hey, man. Always pleasure. So, question for you. So what's been on your training camp preseason games bingo card that hasn't been marked yet that you want to see?
Something that I want to see from this team?
Yeah.
Great question. Something I want to see from this team that I haven't seen from them. I want to see the Jets work more RPOs. I feel like we've seen them push the ball downfield a lot, and I like that and all. I feel like I've seen, a lot of post routes, a lot of corner routes, a lot of things of that ilk, but I want to see Justin Fields, and the Jets won't do it because it's training camp and they can't have like the real system getting out there on the internet from fans talking about it and tweeting it. But I want to see the Jets utilize Justin Fields on quick passes, on RPOs, get the wide receivers, get the speedy wide receivers involved at the line of scrimmage, let the blockers carrying them downfield create, kind of like the Stone Smart play we saw in the preseason, Adam, plays of that ilk. I want to see quick passes. I want to see screen passes, and that's something we haven't seen yet, so I'd say that.
All right, cool. All right, prediction time for you.
Oh, yeah.
Who gets the first Jet sack of the season?
Have to go Will McDonald.
All right.
I'd say That's a blitz. Cool. I'd say a blitz in the second quarter against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Will McDonald.
Specific.
Yeah,
okay.
Second quarter. That's what I'll say. Second quarter against Pittsburgh. He gets home and he creates havoc in the backfield like we know he can, and gets to Aaron Rodgers and sacks him because we know Aaron Rodgers can't move either. So give me Will McDonald.
That's cool. Awesome. Hey, is Beast still on? I wanted to cheer him up because I don't like seeing Beast sad.
Beast,
my man. I'm sorry you're having a rough day.
Oh. First I find out for what power bill was outrageously out of control, and then I got to find out my damn bed frame's a train wreck. What's next?
Well, with the utility bills, I don't know if your power company works this way, but sometimes they'll just do an estimate and then they'll make a correction. That sometimes happens. So yeah, you've got you may have a better number next month if you can hang in there.
Adam, Rick Kent says pay his electric bill, Adam.
No, I'm not going to do that. But Beast, I did have something that I've been holding back. I've been meaning to tell you. So I have this really interesting random bit of memorabilia that I think you're the perfect person to have. So back in the 90s in New Jersey, Jerry the King Lawler was promoting the XFL when it just came out. And he actually signed a shirt with the original XFL teams. And I thought, who would be the perfect person that bridges wrestling and with football that might really appreciate it? And I thought you'd be it. So I got to figure out a way to get it to you. I'd love to give it to you in person one day, for sure. But I'm saving it for you, Beast. I think it always is meant to be for you.
Do you have a mailing address?
Yeah, I do.
Do you have Google?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I'll send you my Google thing, and then we'll take it from there as we proceed. It's called you've heard of due process, right?
Yeah, of course, and we'll work through Jake on that. Good. But I'd love for you to have it. I really think, and I hope that helps.
I'm a New York, New Jersey guy, because if you've seen all the hats that I have, my Knicks, my Rangers, my Mets, my Jets, Ass Maniac hat. I might as well add one more. There is two more things I wouldn't mind.
Thank you, Beast. Thank you, Adam. I hope you guys are able to work out said business off air and get Beast that alleged piece of memorabilia that Adam is talking about. Let's pull up some updates here from the Jets-Giants joint practice. We'll throw this up here on the screen. In the meantime, let's get to a super chat here from Trig Tech, who says, Connor, personal opinion, how many wins are the Jets getting this season? First off, Trig, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, my friend. I appreciate the support as always here on the show. I have the Jets going 8-9. I have higher expectations for Justin Fields than most. I think this defense is able to reestablish themselves as a top 5, top 7 unit under this new revamped coaching staff. So I have higher expectations for this team than most, and I have them coming away with 8 wins. All right, let's get to some updates from Jets-Giants joint practice. Nick Faria says, Kayvon Thibodeau just blew up a run play, completely beat Olu Fashanu on that play. Next play is a zone read that fooled the Giants and would have been a touchdown. Zach Rosenblatt, Justin Fields just had a huge gain on a read option and a legit huge gain on a no defender in sight. Justin Fields completes a pass to Andrew Beck. Let's get to this from Robbie Sabo. Thibodeau got Membu on a spin, but it took some time. Win for the edge, but not crazy clean. AVT locked somebody up, didn't see who it was. Dexter Lawrence clearly beats Myers. Straight path ahead, rough one. Burns picks up the win against Olu again. Not crazy clean, but it was a win. Abdul Carter's win was the best by far. The cleanest and impressive straight ahead rip outside against Membu. Olu then comes to Stonewall Burns. Tittman with a great job on a Giants interior defensive lineman. So, you see the biggest burn of practice already coming from Josh Myers, who we all know should not be getting reps or doing any work with the first team. But there is the update from Florham Park. Look, I really like the fact that Justin Fields is using his legs here. No defender in sight on a read option, just having a quarterback, and I can't emphasize that enough. Having a quarterback who was able to take off with his legs and make plays whenever just adds a whole new dimension of the game and is so important for a modern day innovative offense. So to just see the fact that Justin Fields is taking off and ripping up big plays with his legs is obviously great to see. Connor Hughes says J2 Fele had a sack of Russell Wilson on 3rd and 2 after 2 Tracy runs, negated by defensive hold, first down for the Giants. Wilson then found Wan'Dale Robinson. J2 Fele, baby, continues to make an impact in the backfield. We'll have these updates all show long right here on the show. This is the latest Jets-Giants joint practice in East Rutherford, New Jersey. So, a lot of interesting stuff happening, mostly with the offensive line drills. Good to hear that Olu was able to bounce back against Brian Burns. Again, this is such a great learning experience and developmental experience, especially this time of year, for such a young offensive line to be able to go up against such a stout defensive line, talking about the New York Giants here. So I'm super happy that these guys are able to get valuable reps against such a high-end defensive line like the Giants' caliber and the defensive line that they possess overall. Where were we in the chat? John says, is Malik Neighbors practicing for the Giants? Maybe there was a deal. Malik won't go to Jets camp and Sauce won't go to Giants camp. Perhaps, or maybe they just didn't want to bring the star players. They were just like, we don't want you to risk injury. We don't want to see you, jarring around. We know Sauce Gardner could be a little chippy at these joint practices. So yeah, no Sauce. Neighbors isn't practicing today either. So no Neighbors at practice today. There was no Neighbors at practice yesterday either. So that is the update there from training camp. No Neighbors these past 2 days. Sauce practiced yesterday, but there was no Sauce today. We see here from Nick Faria, Tittman with a high snap. He's had a couple of these in camp, not nearly as bad as last year, though. So that could be why the Jets are experimenting with Josh Myers, because I really can't think of any other logical idea to see. They want to see his snapping ability, and they want to see if he's able to minimize the erratical snaps, because Joe Tittman is clearly a way better football player than Josh Myers is, and deserves to be the starter over Josh Myers by a landslide. But perhaps, again, they're just trying to tuggle with the snapping ability, trying to get Josh Myers to an even place as well when it comes to snapping and continuing to learn this new scheme and remembering how to play with Justin Fields, being able to reunite with him, kind of still learning and tinkering with the release there as well. So perhaps that's why the Jets are throwing Myers in with the first team, because I can't think of any other logical ideas to why the Jets would be doing that. Dylan says, Connor, do we know for sure that Myers could just plug in at guard? He's not played there since 2017 when he redshirted at OSU. That's why I'm saying, Dylan, they should be getting him reps at guard right now when he hasn't played there since college. I knew he played in high school and college, but when he hasn't played since high school or college, you should be getting him reps at the guard position when there are more injury-prone guys compared to trying to, stew up this huge competition between him and Tittman. This guy's played center for 4 years as a starter in this league. You should be giving him reps at guard, like you mentioned there, a position that he hasn't played since 2017, a position where there are more injury-prone players. That's where he should be playing. If you want to throw him with the first team at guard, okay. Okay, I'm okay with that, but don't have him take snaps away from Tittman. He should be working with the second team line, and he should be playing guard. Or you can get him with the first and second team. You can have him play first team guard and give John Simpson a break, and then get him some second team reps at center. But I don't understand the fact that they're giving him first team reps at center and trying to build it up as this huge competition. That's the part I don't understand, because we all know that Joe Tittman is not even near the level of football player that Josh Myers is. He's light years better than him. So I think Joe Tittman is going to be the starting center week 1, but they're just moves like this that don't make sense to me. And it's like your starting center should be playing with the first team. That's the way it should work. Keeping it going with your calls right here on the Jake Asman Show. Connor Long getting things started for Jake Asman right here on the program. Chad is up next here on the show. Chad, how you doing, my friend?
Hey, good. Thanks for taking my call. Between work and family and everything, I just haven't had that much time this year to pay attention to all the under-the-radar guys. So I had a few minutes this morning. So I just want to call in and ask you, can you give me like one or two guys, maybe one on offense, one on defense, that I should be paying attention to on Saturday night and the upcoming preseason games?
Absolutely. So there are a few guys I'd look out for. On the offensive side of the ball, I'll give you two guys. First, I'll give you undrafted free agent. I'll give you a couple guys. Undrafted free agent Jamal Pritchett from South Alabama. He's someone who's really caught this coaching staff's eye over the summer. He's a strong route runner. He has great hands. He's a smaller guy. So he's like a smaller special team spark plug type guy. He's about 5'8", 5'9". He is looking to take Xavier Gibson's role as the punt returner and kick returner on this team, while also establishing a role on the offensive side of the ball. UDFA out of South Alabama led the Sun Belt in receiving yards this past season, so I'd say keep an eye out for Pritchett. Also keep an eye out for UDFA wide receiver Quentin Skinner. He's from Kansas, 6'5", 195 pounds, at a 24-yard catch, contested grab on Saturday. Averaged over 20 yards of reception at Kansas last year. Again, 6'5", 195. So he's a lanky downfield threat with great upside as a contested catch option. So I'd say Skinner. And lastly, also in the receiver room, Malachi Corley, third-round pick from just last year. He's competing for a roster spot right now. So continue to keep an eye on him. Defensively on the defensive line, I'd have to go with I'd have to go with J2 Fele. This is the guy I've spoken about for a couple weeks. And I don't know if you caught the Green Bay game, but he was flying around against Green Bay. A sack and a half, fell on a ball in the end zone for a touchdown. He would say, in my opinion right now, he is the favorite to be the defensive tackle too, alongside Quinnen Williams. So I'd say certainly keep an eye out for him. Quantez Stiggers as well in the secondary, a 5th-round pick from last year, battling it out for a roster spot. Had a great game last Saturday, gives you special teams upside, and most importantly, was able to be a surefire tackler and stingy in coverage while flying around the field. So those are the guys I'd look out for, Chad.
Any special teams guys in particular to look out for?
Yeah, so Pritchett on special teams, I spoke about him. Quantez Stiggers as well, but I'll give you another name on special teams. The undrafted free agent Jamarcus Weston from Miami. He gives you upside as a gunner. He's played all these different positions throughout his career. I'd say keep an eye out on him.
All right. Man, the older you get, the harder it gets to follow everything, man. So I certainly appreciate your time. Thank you so much, man. Have a good one.
You too, ladies and gentlemen. Chad checking in here on the show. Shout out to Chad. Thank you so much for the call. Great call there. Appreciate the kind words, and I appreciate the support as always here on the show. Connor Long getting things started for Jake Asman right here on the Jake Asman Show. You guys like what we're doing here on the show. You guys like my work. You guys could follow me at NY Flight Jets Talk on YouTube. I just throw the link in the chat, so you could sub me up there. We're chasing 2,000 subscribers, baby. So if you can, just drop over there quickly, hit subscribe, and then come right back over here on the show as I'm trying to hit 2,000 subscribers, do daily Jets content there. And we're trying to reach that 2K landmark, baby. So please go over there, drop me a sub. It go a long way. I appreciate your support as always right here on the program. Smash the like button, hit subscribe, continue to load up your calls on the Gus Buster hotline. Jake should be joining us in about 8 minutes here on the show, so stay tuned for that. Jake Asman commuting back from ESPN New York. So Jake should be joining us shortly right here on the show. 25 comes in, says Tufele could really be defensive tackle too. He certainly can. And right now, I think he is the favorite to earn that role. This is someone who has NFL experience as a rotational guy on the inside. This is someone who, after week 1 of the preseason, clearly is the favorite when it comes just from an on-field standpoint. The fact that he was able to log a sack and a half, the fact that he was able to log a touchdown, he gives you special teams value as well. I would say right now, not only can he be that guy, he is the favorite in the clubhouse, my opinion, to be the defensive tackle too this season. So, if I had to make a prediction right now, he's lining up against Quinnen Williams, snap 1 against the Pittsburgh Steelers, excuse me. So yeah, he is more than in that race, and frankly, I think he's the favorite right now. Robin Boy wonders in the chat, says Connor, is it possible that Glenn likes the idea that an OSU teammate and his former center adds a comfort level to QB1? Sure, but you're able to build that rapport with your center wherever you go. So there's no reason that, he can't, Justin Fields can't build a rapport with Joe Tippmann, as Justin Fields is the, clear cut. Justin Fields is obviously the clear-cut starter on this team, and Joe Tippmann is the best center you have on your roster. So there's no reason that he can't build a rapport with Joe Tippmann. Again, comfort is great, but at the end of the day, you put the guy out on the field who gives you the best chance to succeed and the best chance to win football games. And ultimately, that is Joe Tippmann over Elijah Vera Tucker. So yes, you bring up a great point here. That's why the Jets signed him, though, Robin, as someone who has the familiarity with Fields, someone who has starting experience. But at the same time, you put the best player out on the field who gives you the best chance to win football games, and that's Joe Tippmann. Brian Costello of the New York Post. Giants sack Fields twice in the last team period, 1 off a blitz off the edge, and 1 with pressure right up the middle. Giants front is giving the Jets O-line a nice test. That's what I was talking about earlier, responding to David's question. That's what's so dangerous about this Giants offensive line. They're so speedy. They're so powerful off the outside. And then they're able to create havoc on the interior. They're just so well-rounded. So you want to double-team Dexter Lawrence? All right, you're open up Brian Burns, heading right for Justin Fields' head on the blind side. You want to give more focus to Brian Burns on the outside? You want to double-team him? Well, Dexter Lawrence is going to plow right through you on the interior. So it's just so hard to defend because there are so many different guys sprinkled all across the line. According to the Brian Costello, Giants have sacked Justin Fields twice in the last team period. So that's the latest update from East Rutherford. Zach Rosenblatt says Arian Smith made an awesome deep catch, jumped up to get it on a pass from Adrian Martinez. Would have been a long touchdown. He keeps getting better. Man, Arian Smith, where he was when minicamp started to where he is now, is just completely astronomical. Each practice, he continues to improve. Each practice, he continues to get better. He continues to grow as a player. So, big props to Arian Smith. Being able to make an impact practice in, practice out, and just being able to add a different dimension to this team as a deep threat. Bring a different level of football to this offense. Shout out to Arian Smith. Absolutely. So he makes a nice deep catch off a pass from Adrian Martinez that Zach Rosenblatt says would have been a long touchdown. There it is. Maybe we'll see that in the preseason. Show me that against the Giants this Saturday. That's what I want to see against the Giants. Let me see an Adrian Martinez to Arian Smith. Deep, deep touchdown. Man, that would be fun. Sligos has got to see more, but Tufele could be quicker off the snap than Quinnen. That helps Quinnen. Tufele is also a big guy as well. Let me pull up his exact height and weight so I don't botch it here, but he's a big guy. He's 304, he's 305 pounds. He is 6'3", 305 pounds, so he's a big guy next to Quinnen. So he's going to take attention off Quinnen. He's going to divert double teams because his offensive lines need to worry about him just space eating and taking over the entire play. So yeah, he takes up space as well. He's very quick. We saw that against Green Bay, absolutely. So I can't find a better fit right now when it comes to finding someone to play next to Quinnen Williams. There was not a better fit, in my opinion. Who are you talking about here? Peyton Page? I love Peyton Page, but Jay Tufele clearly showed more against Green Bay. Leonard Taylor III is way too similar as to Quinnen Williams' skill set. They don't fit together. Jay Tufele is the clear leader in the locker room right now, undoubtedly so. Derek Q says, Connor, how do you think we'll do against the run this year? It's such an interesting question because the Jets don't really have any established run stuffers behind Quinnen Williams. However, the Jets' scheme, Steve Wilks' defensive principles, his scheme, you don't need 3-4 elite rotational guys on the interior for it to be a successful defense. The Jets put a lot of emphasis on the edge rusher position, which, by the way, that's why it's so important that, the Jets are able to get Jermaine Johnson back on the field as quick as possible and ease him back into this rotation sooner rather than later, because there's so much emphasis on the edge position in Steve Wilks' defensive scheme. So you don't need 2 to 4 elite guys on the interior to create havoc. I think the run defense will be middle of the road this year. I think the run defense from Will McDonald will take a step in the right direction. It's hard to be worse than he was last year, defending the run on the outside. I think Tufele is going to be a solid run stuffer for this team. I think Quinnen Williams is able to return to 2023 form with a coaching staff that doesn't stand for allowing big plays, undisciplined football, getting mauled by an offensive line. I think he'll be middle of the road. I'd say anywhere from 13th to 17th. They're certainly not going to be top 10. They're certainly not going to be bottom 10. So somewhere in the middle. That's my prediction, Derek Q. Leo's Dogs, any word on Mason Taylor when he back? He was back yesterday, Leo, and he was making big, big, big splash plays in yesterday's practice. A big game, a big day out of him at Jets-Giants joint practice. Multiple huge grabs that he came down with. Several big plays. Mason Taylor was flying around the field yesterday. Looked strong in the blocking game as well. Mason Taylor is more than back. He, alongside Gibson, John Simpson, and Jermaine Johnson, all returned to practice yesterday. So yeah, Taylor had a huge, huge day. Huge day. On the other Taylor, Tyrod Taylor, is going to be missing some more time. He went down with a knee injury that required a procedure, and Aaron Glenn told reporters yesterday that he's going to miss the whole preseason, and they hope he will be back for week 1. So not the most promising news when it comes on the Tyrod Taylor front. I appreciate the question, Leo. Someone who's 35 years old, how many more of these big knee injuries can a guy like him really afford when he's still mobile and he's still playing a athletic brand of football, if you will? How many knee injuries can he afford? We don't know, and that's the biggest question. So you hope that he's able to recover from this sooner rather than later and there are no more significant step backs. Our guy Jake Asman, baby, drops in. Says Connor is crushing it. Make sure everyone subs. Jake, thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate the kind words. Says I'll be joining Connor shortly. Everyone send in the membership or super chat so I can pay for Connor's Lunchables and juice box. Jake, thank you so much, my friend. Looking forward to sharing the screen with you. As always, my friend, I appreciate the support and I appreciate you always giving me this opportunity to come on here and share my thoughts on the New York Jets and obviously chop it up with you. As always, second day in a row that we're doing this is super fun. I appreciate it. Metro Funny, baby, gets the memo, and he drops in with a $20 super chat, baby. Metro, thank you so much. Oh, click the wrong button there, my friend. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. That means a lot, my friend, and I'm super excited to get some new Lunchables with this super chat.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Damn straight, AG. Thank you so much, Metro Funny. I appreciate the super chat. $20. Wow, that's a lot, man. I appreciate it, and thank you for joining us and supporting the show as always. I appreciate you, my friend, and thank you for sending in the super chat right here on the show. Chad says, forgot to ask, is there any truth to the Breece Hall rumors? What are people saying about that? Thank you. Of course, Chad, thank you for the call as always. Great job calling in the show. There is no validity to that whatsoever. Aaron Glenn has made it clear the Jets are not trading Breece Hall. Now, if the Jets get to the trade deadline and Breece Hall continues on the trajectory that he was in 2024 last season, and the Jets are 3 or 4 games under 500 and out of the playoff race, then that becomes a different story. But I'll tell you right now, Chad, the Jets are not trading Breece Hall ahead of the 2025 NFL season. That's a guarantee. Again, you get to the trade deadline, this team is multiple games below 500. They're out of the playoff race, and Breece Hall is not coming back to this team under any circumstance next offseason. Then it's a different story, but right now, Breece Hall isn't going anywhere. Heck, there's really no trade value for him. Coming off a season like he was last year, on an expiring contract right now, trading Breece Hall, what you'd get in return, a 6th-round pick, I'd say, right now. So there is no value whatsoever in trading Breece Hall. You might as well just try to hold on to him at this point and hope you get any glimmer of 2023 Breece Hall, because there's no point. I gamble on the upside of Breece Hall any day out of the week rather than trying to trade him for a 6th-round pick. Appreciate the question, though, Chad. Tweet here from Richie of Jets Media. Jets players competing for the kick returner role this season who are taking kicks at training camp: Xavier Gibson, Kanena Nwangwu, Malachi Corley, Donovan Edwards, Arian Smith, Jamal Pritchett. Good to see Corley back there returning kicks. That's one way he's able to carve out a role on this team's roster, returning kicks. That was the biggest problem with him last year. The coaching staff didn't trust him on special teams. And ultimately, that's why I don't think he played a huge role on the team. So, good to see Malachi Corley back there returning kicks. I think Jamal Pritchett, if anything, is the starting punt returner on this team and kick returner. If I had to make a prediction, I think he's shown the most juice. I think he deserves the roster spot the most. So, yeah, the kick returner job is certainly interesting because it is anyone up in the air. It's all up in the air. Anyone can land that role. Could be Kanena Nwangwu. He looked promising in that role on Saturday. There are so many different guys competing for that job. So it's going to be interesting to see it all unfold here with 2 preseason games remaining. Sligo says, Connor, you're definitely a natural at sports commentating. Pretty impressive, young man. Sligo, that means a lot, my friend. I appreciate the kind words. And most importantly, thank you for tuning in here on the show. I appreciate all your support. Shout out to all you guys tuning in. Make sure you smash the like button and hit subscribe, completely free, and it helps us grow significantly here on the show. Connor Long getting things started for Jake Asman here on the show. Get all your gifted memberships in the building. Don't think we've had a gifted membership yet, so make sure to load it up. We're giving away a G5 t-shirt from the Jake Asman Show merch store at the end of the show. Every gifted membership or qualifying super chat gives you an entry. You see it there, the G5 inscription with the one-handed catch silhouette. So make sure you gift away. Make sure you send in a qualifying super chat to be entered. We appreciate your support as always right here on the show. And make sure you lock in your ticket for the Jake Asman Jets vs. Giants watch party, baby. $18 a ticket as it stands, but emphasize the fact that the ticket goes up $5 to $23 if you don't get your ticket by Friday. So get your ticket now. Link in the description down below. Your $18 ticket gets you a Friday beer, a free shot, and a raffle ticket. And the raffle prizes are beyond impressive. A Breece Hall signed jersey that comes in a frame 2 tickets to Jets vs. Panthers, the Asmaniac Group Buy, a Wayne Corbett signed jersey, an Aaron Glenn signed jersey. Make sure you get in on that, guys. Links in the description down below. And we do have some memberships in the chat, baby. Rasta Dread comes in, and he drops a membership here on the show alongside Gil. Thank you guys so much for the memberships right here on the show.
Now, give me money. Or I shoot him. And I shoot all you motherfuckers. And then we take it. Your choice, bitches.
Shout out to Gil. Shout out to Rasta Dread. You each get a raffle entry for the G5 silhouette right here on the show. That picture, along with, keep in mind, you guys also get an entry in the weekly raffle, which contains a Darrelle Revis signed jersey, a Nick Mangold signed jersey, and a Wayne Corbett signed helmet. So keep gifting away, guys. Get you an entry in the G5 t-shirt giveaway along with the weekly raffle as well. So make sure you get all your memberships in. They go a long way to supporting the show. Appreciate your support as always. Larry Romano says, Connor, who are your wide receiver 1, 2, and 3 slot week 1? So you're talking about the slot receivers week 1 through 3. That's a tough question because you're talking about just slot. Garrett's the intriguing one here. Like, where does he fit? Because he's done everything for this team over the past years. I think we still see him get reps in the slot and on the outside as well. If I had to make a prediction, those slot receivers, I'd say Garrett 1. Arian Smith, that's tough. Garrett 1, Arian Smith 2, Jamal Pritchett 3. Oh, wide receiver, he said wide receiver 3 meaning slot. I see. Wide receiver 3 meaning slot, and then just wide receiver 1, 2, and then the slot third one as the slot guy. So obviously Garrett as your wide receiver 1. Wide receiver 2, I have that role going to Josh Reynolds. I think Josh Reynolds has shown enough as the veteran presence here in that locker room, has the familiarity with the offensive scheme. I think he's going to be the wide receiver 2 on this team. And then the wide receiver 3, talking about the slot there, wide receiver 3 on this team, I give to Tyler Johnson. I don't think people talk about Tyler Johnson enough. In minimal opportunities throughout his career, he's maximized every single possible opportunity, whether it comes to yak, whether it comes to contested catch rate, whether it comes to minimizing drops. I think it's Tyler Johnson for that wide receiver 3 role. He's established the most, and I think he deserves it the most, frankly, just given the upside that he brings at so many different facets that are so crucial to the wide receiver position. So I'd have to go with Tyler Johnson there, who getting that third role, being the wide receiver 3 on this team for this season. So Garrett Wilson number 1, Josh Reynolds number 2, Tyler Johnson number 3. I really like Tyler Johnson, and I have high hopes for him, and we've seen it throughout camp. Nate says, wasn't Tyler Johnson off your initial 53, Connor? No, he was not. I had Alan Lazard and Malachi Corley off my 53. I've been a huge Tyler Johnson fan since they first signed him. No, yeah, Tyler Johnson was undoubtedly on my 53. Ricky says, Connor, I've been telling people that Tyler is wide receiver 3. I wrote an article about Tyler Johnson being a sleeper for wide receiver 2 duties for Jets X Factor back in May. I've been on the Tyler Johnson train for a long, long time. I just think his ability to get up there for jump balls and just do so many different things pays him good dividends and gives him a great opportunity to be an impact player and take up a huge role of the target share this season. So, yeah, I'm all in on Tyler Johnson personally. Just the upside that he presents, still being on the younger side. The upside that he's shown, though, and I can't emphasize that enough, the upside he's shown in minimal opportunities, so impressive. He's a yak threat. He has strong hands, contested catch value. 12 of his 17 contested catches. He's brought down 12 of his 17 contested catch opportunities. That is unheard of. So Tyler Johnson is undoubtedly my wide receiver 3 this season alongside Josh Reynolds and Garrett Wilson, of course. Up next here on the show is none other than the great Mikey Midnight, baby.
Hello, I'm Mikey. I'm Bobby's little bro. Have you seen Jake Graves? She's so beautiful. I love my boy Jake, but not in a gay way. I am so happy. I'm not going to touch anything, I promise.
Mikey. The second we play that, Mikey drops off. I don't know what happened there. Call back, Mikey. I think the Wi-Fi might have been lagging there for a second, but I appreciate the call as always on the show, my friend. Aaron says I could see Smith at 3. I can as well, but come week 10 through 12. I don't think we can expect a 4th-round rookie to start the year as the wide receiver 3. Heck, I don't think that's fair enough for him, that we have expectations of him being a wide receiver 2 or 3. Sure, if we get to week 8 or 10 and he's just utilizing his speed, taking the top off the defense, big play after big play, then sure. But not at week 1, excuse me. I think that's something that you see week 10 or week 11, maybe even a little earlier. But I don't think you see that right out of the gate. I don't think that's fair enough to expect out of a 4th-round rookie. We'll go back to some updates here from Jets vs. Giants joint practice. Looks like there was a fight that broke out at practice. SNY's Connor Hughes says, a couple big Tyrone Tracy runs and a fight breaks out between the Jets and Giants. Runyon, Will McDonald, Stickers all involved. Greg Van Rotten, former Jet, Chip is chipping too. It's getting testy. There we go. Tempers rising at Jets vs. Giants joint practice in East Rutherford. So there we go. It's joint practice time. It's football time. Football is back. The intensity is in the air in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Always love a good training camp fight. Am I wrong? Always love a good training camp fight. Mikey, are you there?
Yeah, you hear me?
We got you, Mikey. How you doing?
Good. You hear me good?
I hear you fine.
I think I fixed the camera.
There we go. We can see you, yes.
Good. I miss it, Connor. You're a good guy.
I appreciate that.
The Jets all the way, right?
Yes, sir. Super Bowl, baby.
Super Bowl. We had to tell Jake, too.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Tell Jake we win the.
Oh, I think he pressed the leave StreamYard button by accident. So Mikey unfortunately dropped off. Great to hear from Mikey, though. Always great to see him check in here on the show and then call in when he gets an opportunity. So shout out to Mikey. Appreciate him as always, and I appreciate him tuning in right here on the show. Let's see. Let's go back to you guys in the chat. Load up the questions, comments, thoughts. Nate says Connor kicked him and blamed him. Learning from Jake always. Did not kick him, Nate. Did not kick Mikey. Love a Mikey call. Always love a Mikey call. So I did not kick him from the stage. All right, where were we? I saw a comment here about Alan Lazard that I wanted to pull up on the screen. There were comments about the wide receiver position that we were still talking about. JJ says we need to find a true wide receiver too. I've talked about that all offseason long. Frankly, it's not happening at this juncture. The best bet is someone emerges this season behind Garrett. That is the best bet. Someone sticks out and surprises us behind Garrett Wilson. That is the best option, and that's all you could truly hope for. Ricky says Tyler Johnson may not have gotten a ton of balls thrown in, but he's consistently getting open. Keep hearing. He's a great route runner. He's a route running technician. He has strong hands. He can get up, contested catch opportunities, secured 12 of his 17 contested catch opportunities. Doesn't drop many passes. Tyler Johnson, for me, is my clear-cut wide receiver 3 this season, behind both Josh Reynolds and Garrett Wilson. So that's the hope, JJ. Going back to your comment about trying to find a true wide receiver too. The Jets aren't signing anyone here on August 13th. What you got to hope happens is someone is able to emerge and step up behind Garrett Wilson. And the Jets clearly seem to think that could be Arian Smith, seem to think that could be Josh Reynolds. And you hope that's the case. Back from ESPN New York, joining us right now on his own very show, Jake Asman, baby. Jake.
We're here. What's up, Connor? You did a great job once again. I can't thank you enough for filling in for the first hour and change here. Just got back from the studios. A lot of fun to do Morning Drive with Dave in person. I've done one other show with him last summer, but first time Dave Rothenberg and I have worked together. But since I was filling in for Rick DiPietro, this is what I wore to work today. Not that. StreamYard, you suck. I wore this. I wore a 2006 children's size large. Hold on. StreamYard, you were the worst. You're seeing what I'm dealing with here, Connor. I wore a 2006 children's size large Rick DiPietro Islanders jersey to work today. So
age well.
This might fit you, Connor. I'll give it to you. Actually, I met you in person. You're very tall. You're bigger than me, so never mind. It will not fit you either. But it was a lot of fun. Thanks to the Asmaniacs who tuned in. Nick Shine actually called in today, which was a lot of fun. Nick's at the Giant Jet practice right now in enemy territory. So depending on timing, he might call in and share some of his quick takeaways. We also will hear from Aaron Glenn at some point during this stream, whenever practice ends, and we'll take him live. But I've been following the tweets. I was listening to you. Sounds like the defenses are doing their thing once again. Now, I am curious what the deal is with Sauce Gardner not practicing today, what his injury is after he practiced yesterday. Quinnen's not practicing, neither is Jermaine, but I think that is because they're easing them both back in slowly because both guys look good out there yesterday. So I think that's the latest on the injury front. But what have I missed? What is the big topic of the day on the show so far, Connor? You fill me in.
There was a bit of a fight that occurred, Jake, after a few Tyrone Tracy runs. Quantez Stiggers, Will McDonald getting into it with Greg Van Rotten on the Giants side of things.
Jet legend Greg Van Rotten.
Probably one of the worst Jet offensive linemen in franchise history, if we were being completely honest. I mean, what a turnstile that guy was, but I digress. Justin Fields ripped off a few nice runs. One of them came on a read option. Another one came with no defender in sight, and he just took off with his legs and made a big play. Adrian Martinez to Arian Smith. Arian Smith climbed the ladder for what would have been a long touchdown reception. So Arian Smith seems to be the highlight of the day, that big play. Josh Myers taking first-team center reps over Joe Tippmann. That was a huge talking point for us here on the show. Joe Tippmann not running with the starting offensive line today. And most importantly, the trench play. We saw Olu Fashanu, give Brian Burns a run for his money on a rep after Burns blew right past him. So story of the day has kind of been the defenses with a few nice runs from Justin Fields and then the big play from Martinez Smith.
Martinez, man, is still doing his thing, but I'm more fascinated by Arian Smith and whether or not he can make enough plays to have a real role in this offense beyond just running, and trying to run clear out routes for people. Good stuff. All right. Phone lines are loaded. Now, I did receive some information from Gator that Beastbreaker's bed frame finally broke, but he was able to patch it together.
Beast was not happy today. Beast was crying on screen. So
he was crying already.
He was crying already.
And you didn't even bring up his guinea pig that many are willing to sacrifice
I
for
did.
Jet Super Bowl.
I brought him up. My inner Jake Asman, there was a comment about him, Chicken Jennings, I think it was, talked about sacrificing little Joey. So I had to bring Beast on to react about that, and he was not happy.
Yeah, also, I'm seeing that Habmo says, good morning football, walking in Manhattan, asking people who wins more games. They interviewed me yesterday. Kyle Brandt had me on that segment. So, Habmo, if you watched the full thing, you saw me on Good Morning Football this morning because they aired it today. I'll edit it down, and we'll play some of it on the show this afternoon because I have not had time to do it yet, and I'll probably get copyright flagged by the NFL, even though I'm in the damn segment being interviewed. But I was on Good Morning Football this morning and Morning Drive in New York, so I've been busy. That's why we needed Connor to hold it down.
Big boy moves, Jake.
Things are happening. I heard you say that we're doing the G5 T-shirt raffle here. So right now we have Rasta and we have Gil who are in, and Metro Funny is in for 5 with this funny-ass super chat for lunch at Juice Box for you. Connor, I ordered your shirt yesterday, by the way.
Thank
you. You'll be
that.
getting hooked up with that. Make sure everyone subscribes to Connor's YouTube channel immediately. He's doing a great job. Open phone lines for those of you who want in. I'm sure Connor mentioned it, but we are, in fact, presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. And I know Connor, I heard him already talk about the watch party. Lock in your spots, people. Jets Giants Saturday night, $18 for today and tomorrow. Starting Friday, there's a $5 price increase. So if you're going to come anyway, save yourself $5 and lock in your ticket. Michael Duramo writes in bagel, which is a reference to the morning show bit when literally this Good Morning Football segment is playing in studio, and I point at the TV to Dave Rothenberg. And he's like, oh, my God. And Dave got me a bagel for breakfast. He goes, that's my bagel. And it became a very funny moment on radio today. So I'll see if I can get all that for the afternoon show. But all right. Open phone lines for those of you who want in on the conversation. It's me and Connor Long. We'll hear from Aaron Glenn. We are checking Twitter for live updates on what's happening in the team periods. We have people we know there that are giving us live reports. So anything that breaks, you'll hear about it first during this live stream. And then Dylan Terreman and I will be live in the 4 p.m. hour today to break down some of the big takeaways from this practice. But let's say hello right now to B. Heights, who's up next on our Gusbuster hotline. B. Heights, what's going on?
What's going on, guys? How y'all doing, man?
What's up, B. Heights?
Ain't much. I'm actually, look, Jake, I've been trying to get on your show for like the past couple weeks, I'm Adrian on YouTube. You're like, Adrian, you got to click on the link. I'm like, where's the link, my man?
What's up, Adrian? Well, do you want me to change your name on StreamYard to Adrian so we know it's you?
Nah, you can leave it as B Heights. Look.
All right. Your B Heights it is.
The greatest jet of all time, number 12 right here. I don't know if you can see the back, but it says Heights on the back too.
Wow. Okay.
Listen, man. Hey, first and foremost, hey, Connor, you're a legend, my man.
I appreciate that.
Listen, man. You're what, 14?
14, yes.
That is nasty work, my man. Like you're he's like a all pro up there. Like I give it 2 years before Stephen A takes you on first take with him.
Thank you, my friend. I
take me with me, Connor, if that happens. All right.
Oh, you already know.
No, this guy is incredible, man. Like I watch your show a lot, Jake. You know, so I see Connor all the time, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, this kid's etiquette. Like I couldn't even at 14, forget about it.
Look, we had to make sure if I was going to miss part of the show here that we, especially during the season now, B Heights, that we handed things over to a guy who can handle it. I mean, Connor is the best of the best right here.
Listen, for sure, man, because you know what, he gives a lot of input that, like, that I'm not even aware of sometimes. You know, like the input that you give, like I'll start looking into certain guys. Like, yeah, you know what, this kid is right, man. Let's forget about Lazard. You know what? After you said it, Lazard wasn't in my top 53 neither.
Yep. Complete liability. Can't catch the ball,
man. And then once you start bigging up Tyler Johnson and all that, I start looking into that. I think he had a great preseason game.
Catch from Brady Cook right over the middle of the field. Yep.
Absolutely, man. I'd love to have Beck in the start of 53 as well. He had a solid game, right? That's our fullback, right?
I think Beck's he's definitely making the team, and I think he'll have a role. I think he'll be out there in some packages, and he's a reliable check down guy. He's a good blocker. They want to run the ball. He's going to have the Jets are going to be kind of an old school looking team at times offensively. They're going to have a real fullback in the offense.
That's how Sam Laporta really got his start in Detroit. Like, he started as that hybrid fullback tight end. I think to have someone like that, like I think, I was talking about him pushing Jeremy Ruckert off the roster. Like, I'd love for that to be the case. I just think there's no upside with Ruckert. I don't think it's going to happen. But the fact that the Jets are able to have like a Swiss Army knife offensively, like they do with Beck, someone who can play the fullback, play the H-back for you, but is also a route runner, is able to run routes, is able to catch passes for you. It's just going to add a new dimension to this offense. The fact that you have a blocker who can also go downfield and, catch passes from you all the way downfield, it's just very valuable.
Very diverse player. And, I have like this with Jeremy Ruckert, right? I can't say that I agree with you 100%. Me personally as a Jet fan, I just have like this weird attachment to Ruckert because of, his draft day, his family being there and his father being like him growing up a Jet fan and all that. But at the end of the day, like you said, there's not much going on with Ruckert. He hasn't really produced these, since he was drafted. So it might be time for him to go.
I think he'll be on the team, but his spot is not a lock. Like if they only value him for blocking, what's to say B Heights there's not a guy that gets cut from a different team that could be considered a better blocker? That's all they need.
He's not even Ruckert
to do.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's not.
That might be better. Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, it's the scheme, blaming it on the scheme. Like, the coaching staff last year did so many things incorrectly. They were so incompetent. Like, when you talk about them blaming the coaching staff for Jeremy Ruckert's struggles, that's just low-hanging fruit, in my opinion. I mean, Ruckert whiffed play in and play out. Whiffing and technical issues when it comes to blocking has nothing to do with the scheme that you're in. That's just technique issues. And I don't get the Jeremy Ruckert hype, guys. I'm going to be honest. I think
the only hype I've had from him was his draft day.
Yeah.
Watching him get drafted and his family there and his father's reaction. That's
his dad. Yeah. His dad, Bill Ruckert, who's a nice guy I've met in person before.
Oh, you met him?
Yeah. Look, you want to root for the story, B Heights. Excellent call by you. But it's tough because this is a guy that hasn't performed. He's in his fourth year. So his new regime, his spot's not guaranteed. So good call by B Heights. B Heights, I'm putting you in the raffle for 2 because you're a first-time caller. I'm going to put you in as B Heights. So change your YouTube name to B Heights so we know it's you going forward. Excellent job, my man. I'm glad you figured out how to call. What was I going to say? I got some positive Jet updates from camp I wanted to share. Nick Folk went 6 for 6, including 2 from 50+. He made one from 55 yards. Nick Folk Yeah, baby. Also, Harrison Mevis was perfect on his kicks, but Nick Falk hitting kicks, hell yeah. And for those saying, well, Greg Zuerlein, he sucked last year out of nowhere. He had a bad camp, if you remember. Like, there were some warning signs. He was bad in the preseason. Like, Nick Falk, I think, is doing pretty well to alleviate some of our early fears about him just being washed like Zuerlein was.
And I'll add this. Greg Zuerlein struggled all camp and all preseason long last year. Austin Seibert was on. He was automatic all preseason. Look, that's something a general manager, a head coach needs to pick up on. When you see a struggling veteran struggle to the caliber that Greg Zuerlein was last summer, last preseason, and then you release a guy like Austin Seibert, who ultimately goes on to be one of the most efficient kickers in the league last year. Look, I understand that it would have been tough to move on from a guy like Zuerlein, but that's what great head coaches and great general managers are able to pick up on and adapt to on the fly quickly.
Well said. Ladies and gentlemen, a super chat here from Beats Custom Kicks. Shout out to our pal Kyle, who says, I got my AG jersey yesterday. Jake, thank you so much. We need to get Connor some kicks. So, Jake, get me a size and address, and we can hook him up. Love his takes.
Wow.
He has a big-time future. Well, Connor, I have your address, but text me your shoe size. I'll connect you with Kyle, who is the architect behind the sickest Jet shoes that I now own. I actually got one of the pairs right here by me.
Yeah, I saw those the other day, and I actually went on the website, Kyle. Thank you so much. This means a lot. I was actually perusing around the website, and when I found some time, I was going to buy a pair. So I appreciate the hookup, my friend. I appreciate the kind words, and damn, those are fresh, Jake. Those are the Jordan logo too.
They're Jordan brand, and then he also sent me these. He sent me a third pair too, but I have it on a display case, not in front of me. But I'll show that off in an upcoming read for Beats Custom Kicks. But look at these; these are sick. I know, Connor, you're coming to the watch party Saturday, right? So you'll see me rocking these.
Oh, yeah, baby. Those look absolutely fantastic. So
that's awesome. You're going to get a pair for your own, Kyle? That's incredibly nice of you, man. Thank you.
What a legend. What a legend. Shout out to you, Kyle. I appreciate the support as always, my friend.
All right, super chat here. This one is from Rat Diddy. And by the way, folks, if you haven't figured it out, go to the website. It's actually in the description for the video to make it super easy for everyone out there. But if you want custom kicks like the ones that you just saw on the screen, by the way, use promo code JETS1. You get 10% off on all your items. But go to beatscustoms.com. The link is in the description as well. So we'll make it as easy as possible for anyone. I just put it in the chat as well. Rat Diddy says Arian Smith just mossed someone. The clip is out there on Richie's feed. Duo of Connor and Jake. Hells yeah. Rat, appreciate you. So I saw the clip and I was going to pull it if yesterday I didn't do the same thing and then wake up to a YouTube copyright infringement thing. So I had to edit it out from my show yesterday, Connor. So I'm not going to show it, but for those who want to see a very nice catch that Arian Smith made, go on the Jets social media accounts and you'll see it.
Most definitely. I was actually about to pull it up on the screen, Jake, and then I didn't say anything in the chat, but then I realized, like, you said the copyright infringement, so I'm like, absolutely not. We're not pulling this up on the screen. So, yeah, I saved you a copyright hit there.
Yeah, well done. Let's see. New Jersey, the Super Trucker is in the raffle for 1 and 2. How about that? We're giving away this Garrett Wilson t-shirt in your size of choice after the show today. So check it out. Shout out to the New Jersey Super Trucker. Mike Perez in the house. He's in the raffle for 2. Great show, Connor. Love your special guest in Jake. Did you see the huge Arian Smith catch? This guy may be something special. Arian Smith looked good. I can't deny it. I didn't love the pick based on what we were hearing about where he should have been drafted. If he's good, he'd be considered an outlier because it's not just like a couple people thought he was overdrafted. Like, he was a significant reach on like the consensus board, which over time, the consensus board is more right than NFL teams are when it comes to outlier picks. But maybe Arian Smith is different and he's that outlier. And if the Jets found something in Arian Smith, it does wonders for what this offense can be. It's early, but he has had a very nice camp because let's be real. If he was stinking, we'd be hearing about how bad of a pick it was and all that. And that hasn't been the case. So I'm very encouraged by Arian Smith so far.
Most definitely. They need someone to step up behind Garrett Wilson. And if it's able to be a 4th-round rookie like Arian Smith, that'd certainly be a positive sign. Jake, when you were, before you joined the show earlier on at the start, there were some questions directed towards you, and I had them in the starred section. Dan, the Jet fan, wanted to know if you're running a survivor pool this season, and David Aaron wanted to know how Jake's Circa entries fared last season.
Oh, Circa entries, we got eliminated week 1. So we didn't fare well. We had the Bengals in the survivor pool, and we got beat immediately. because the New England won that game for everyone who
I
remembers last
had
year.
that too. I clicked Cincinnati in my pool.
Yep.
Oh, that was rough. Yeah.
So we got beat right away. I only did Survivor last year with Circa. And as far as an Asmaniac Survivor pool, Dan, you're in the Discord. John LG, for I think this might be the second or third year he's done it. He has a Survivor pool that I'm in with a bunch of listeners. So message him for the link, or John, if you're watching and you want to throw the link in the chat, I could share it. It's a free league, free Survivor pool. If you win, we'll come up with some sort of prize. We'll give you something from the merch store, signed Jets item, whatever. But that is for Discord people, for those of you who are interested. Ricky wants to know if I've warmed up to Tyler Johnson. I mean, look, of the guys they brought in, he's the guy that you could point to and say he has somewhat of a resume. Like, he's got a track record to an extent. I like his size. I like the speed. I don't know if he's an impactful player, but he might be better than Alan Lazard. Like, I don't think that's crazy to think.
I have him as my wide receiver 3, Jake. I'm higher on Tyler Johnson than most people this year. Like, the fact that he's been able to maximize every single opportunity he's gotten throughout his career. Contested catch opportunities. He's been a yak machine when given opportunities. Doesn't drop the ball. Doesn't force any big mistakes on the offensive side of the ball. I think a guy like Tyler Johnson has a lot of upside in the receiver room, given the fact that he has a resume, correct? And he's not, 30 years old or, as old as Alan Lazard or a guy like Josh Reynolds is. So that's my thought process with Tyler Johnson. And I think right now he's the third best receiver in this position group.
Couple tweets I'm seeing here. Jets media. Adrian Martinez finishes off his drive with touchdown pass to Stone Smart over the middle. 3 minutes ago from Zach Rosenblatt. Justin Fields complete to Brandon Smith on a slant, followed up by another possible sack from Kayvon Thibodeau. If not a sack, Fields threw it over Garrett Wilson's head. Then came a penalty, false start, and a Fields keeper for short gain. Starting offense not really going anywhere today so far. In the passing game, at least, running game has been good. Once again, on days where even the Jets' passing game has not been well, it's encouraging that they at least can fall back on the fact they have run the ball successfully, because that's their offense. And when we get to the games when they count, they're going to be built on running the hell out of the football. So that, to me, is a positive. The Giants do have a really good pass rush, though, so it's not surprising to me that, the Jets are going to have to deal with that and go through some struggles. Let's see.
Most definitely.
Samini at 11:27 a.m., so 5 minutes ago. Fields led offense in plus territory. 30-yard touchdown run by Braylon Allen and long run by Fields on designed play. Other than that, not much doing for the offense. Okay, not bad.
Interesting. I also see Brandon Smith playing with the first team today. He connected with Fields on a couple plays. Jets seem to like Brandon Smith, and to be fair, he looked solid against the Packers. We saw him last year in the preseason. Very, very efficient guy, but I don't like the upside with Smith. I don't know what he is more than just he's like the Adrian Martinez for me, Jake, of wide receivers. He's a practice squad training camp guy. Like, he's the people who think Brandon Smith can actually be an impact player and carve out a role this season in the passing attack. I think that's asinine.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Reminder for those tuning in late, this t-shirt in the size or color of your choice, we raffle away at the end of today's stream. Hit the like button. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Someone brought up Circa before. Ladies and gentlemen, that's where I'm headed next week. That's right. We're just days away from our annual vacation to Circa Las Vegas for contest weekend.
Circa Million and Circa Survivor are back with a massive $21 million in guaranteed prizes. Circa Million. Pick 5 games against the spread each week. 126 ways to win with $6 million guaranteed. Circa Survivor, 1 pick a week. No point spread. Last the longest to win it all. $15 million guaranteed. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. $21 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
Contest weekend, it's coming up. I'll be there August 21st through the 23rd. Cocktail party, meet and greet, Radio Row. That's me broadcasting this show with a bunch of great guests that are going to join us next week. Stadium Swim open bar for contest participants. I got a bunch of great football panels. So if you're a football fan, if you're interested in either of these betting contests you've heard me talk about for months on the show, this is the place to be next week for contest weekend. It's Vegas, baby. I can't wait to be out there. Connor, I know that you're not 21 yet, but I promise when you turn 21, I'm taking you on a bender to Vegas, all right?
Oh, there we go. Can't wait. Can't wait.
Also, does anyone else get a kick out of the fact that because the show now is presented by a FanDuel, and we got ZipRecruiter that we have a 14-year-old doing a read for a gambling company. We have a 14-year-old doing a read for ZipRecruiter. I just think it's very funny.
Iconic, Jake. Yeah. I count down the days till I'm able to turn, 18 and 21. So, it's just everything changes in life once you get to those landmarks, including, traveling to the city of, what is it? Regret, mistake, whatever it is.
Sin City, baby. It's going to be magical for you.
That's what it is. Can't wait for that.
J-Quest says it's going to be weird when Connor goes full man. I'll tell you what, Connor, I went and was watching your show, and it was at the beginning, so you played the intro. You got to revoice your own intro now, because in the year plus that I've known you, your voice has dramatically changed. It's not as high at all as it is in the intro. You have a much deeper voice already.
Yeah, I was actually, funny enough, I was texting with Gator 2 days ago. We're actually going to work something out ahead of the year because, that voice is pretty high in the intro. That's a different Connor. And Jake, I was my voice and everything was a little different when we first met in December of 2023, and now it's August of 2025. So I'm a growing boy, and the intro will change shortly, folks.
I love it. You're doing a great job. Let's see. Icelip Jet fan says, Connor, are you thinking September is bittersweet, starting a school and the start of the season? I hate it as a teacher.
Absolutely. The way I think about it is football's back. I'm still able to do daily content on my show, but I do have to be brainwashed for 8 hours a day, 5 days out of the week for 10 months straight. So it's bittersweet, but then once you get to October, you're just used to it. And then summer comes and you're living the dream. But I'm already easing back into it, doing the summer reading nonsense that is required year in and year out, but it's all right. We'll get through the year, folks.
I won't have you tell the story you told me off air on what you did to scheme one of your homework assignments. I mean, look, if I was your age, I'd be doing the same thing, but let's just say Connor is very smart when it comes to school as well.
I appreciate that.
Anyway, more of your calls right now. Let's say hello to Rasta Dread. What's up, Rasta?
Yo, can you hear me?
What's up, Rasta? Hey, you're a man of your word. You said you were going to become a regular, and here we are again.
Yes, sir. Getting the work done, as you can see. Actually, I kind of wanted to show you guys. Let me see if I can flip the screen here. Oh, that's not it.
Go into settings and hit the camera setting. You might be able to see how to flip it.
All right. Well, first and foremost, this is what's in front of me, the beautiful Miami Beach. This is basically what I'm seeing right now in the van. Nothing but sunshine, palm trees, and beautiful people walking around. That's first and foremost. So let's turn this around a little bit. Hold on 1 second. Oh, let's hit that in park. All right. So as you can see, my dry cleaning van. Here are my deliveries for the day. Don't got much, just a couple more deliveries to make. This is everything that I've already picked up. Tons of bags, but this is a slow day. Just kind of wanted to walk you guys through the everyday. There's some more wash and fold bags that I have to deliver. And yeah, man, so this is pretty much what I see on a daily basis. Absolutely beautiful outside.
That's why the Dolphins are so soft, because they're not built for the toughness when you live down there.
The only thing that we're built for is the heat, because this heat out here right now is absolutely no joke. Absolutely no joke.
Brutal.
So, yeah, man, I don't have too much comments as far as the Jets, man. Just kind of wanted to walk you guys, kind of give you a brief look at what I do on a daily basis. And, yeah, man, Connor, you're doing an amazing job. As always, keep kicking butt, bro, because every opportunity you keep building a fan base, brother. So keep doing your thing. As soon as I get off of here, I'm going to go ahead and subscribe to your YouTube channel because I've already been slacking on that. So I got to get on that. So anyway, guys, have a great day. Have a great one, guys. Go Jets.
Great call. Safe driving, my man. Love that. What a view. It almost makes me want to go to Miami right now, but it's too hot right now.
Beautiful. Just the resort-like view that you see all over Miami, all over Florida. Can't beat it. Can't beat it, Jake.
I was also instructed to ask you what your take was on the sticker gate. I don't know if you saw the second show yesterday. There were some accusations levied at Richie from Jets Media that he wasn't friendly enough with someone, according to Jake West. So did you happen to see this?
I did not. Richie, I talk to all the time. I met Richie at training camp. I can't see a world where Richie was not respectful and, gave a kid the utmost respect, but I'm all ears. I have no clue what happened here.
Yeah, I said the same thing, but no, Jay Quest claims that it wasn't a nice enough interaction for him.
But he gave a kid a sticker?
He did. A kid came up to him, recognized him, and he gave the kid a sticker. And apparently that wasn't enough for Jake West. I defended Richie to the best of my ability yesterday, but I wasn't there. So I just, like you, can't imagine Jake West seeing this and it being as bad as what he described.
Yeah, Rich, that does not sound like Richie. I mean, maybe Jake, I know Richie's a regular on this show. Maybe he can come on and defend himself sometime over the next few weeks. That's a possibility.
Sean says Beast gives out candy to kids on Halloween or year round. There's a big difference.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let me try and get to the bottom of this. I'll ask the man himself. We try to be fair around here.
I just had chicken. Chicken.
Beast, how you doing?
I'm in a very shitty mood today.
You're in a bad mood almost every day. You used to be a joyous man.
Oh, no. My bed did a nasty fall this morning. The back of one of the things broke. Yeah, lucky for defense, I repaired it with a little hammer and nail action.
Hey, Beast, put the light on.
And then I get hit in the nuts with a power.
Hey, put the light on.
Everybody better get the hell out of my face before I go Harlem Heat on every single one.
We were just asking for a light.
Yeah. And so's Christmas. How you like them apples?
I don't understand what that means. But can I ask you a follow-up on your bed breaking?
That drove me nuts.
You said that you fixed it. You got to test it out. Give us a Garrett Wilson catch.
Well, I already put a little extra heavy power to it. And
all right, move your mic that's not plugged in, and let's do this like gentlemen.
I also got to make a phone call to the comments, see if I can get some funds and get this bill lowered out of my mind.
Okay,
Extra nuts.
We'll get you some funds, but move your mic and give us a Garrett Wilson catch, and let's see if your bet is actually sturdy.
Give me a second.
Uh-oh, now I can't see anything.
Give me a second, Sonny. Keep your pants on. Don't go.
Believe me, my pants are most definitely on right now.
Don't dive in the water. But if you're drowning, I'm going to go in there and get you the water out of it.
Nobody's drowning. We want to see if your bed is fixed.
Oh, God, Beast.
You can go for it.
Hey, your camera's not pointed at the bed. You got to adjust the
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah. We heard you. I'm not deaf.
Stop with the fake accent. You're not from New York.
Yeah. Yeah, so is my temp. How you like that, man?
I don't know what that means. Just jump on your bed and see if it's broken or not.
You lucky I got Mr. Hammer here. My baby. Ooh. Yeah, Chico. Yeah.
What happened to the cadence?
Cowboy, baby. Run, cowboy.
Hey, drop back like you're Justin Fields throwing to Garrett Wilson.
Is Beast okay?
What happened, Beast?
Hey, swallowed something wrong. Did not expect that.
What happened?
Swallowed something, went down the wrong tailpipe.
What were you eating before you jumped on the bed?
I just swallowed something wrong.
But what did you have in your mouth that you swallowed?
Saliva.
So you're choking on your own saliva? Is that possible?
It's okay. Don't worry.
I guess he's okay.
Touchdown.
Now, Beast, do you think if you didn't lose the 70 pounds you claimed you lost 2 days ago in 3 months, you'd be in trouble there?
Okay. Easy.
We might have lost him, folks.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening there. Do we need to send some sort of EMS to Global Studio headquarters? That might be the case.
Hey, Beast, you good? I think that's a thumbs up, but it's very dark in your attic, so it's hard to tell. Is that a thumbs up?
Yeah, thumbs up.
Thumbs up, okay. All right, we'll come back to you. You lay there. All right. Thanks for the time, Beast. All right. We'll come back to you. I got a guy on the line that was at practice, so we'll check back in. All right.
Leave a message at the beat.
All right. Hey, Beast, this is Jake. We'll come back to you after the phone call I have with a Jets guru who was there today, okay?
Thank you for the time.
All right.
Thank you.
You got it. Thank you.
Abracadoodle.
I think we covered a lot of ground with Beast. We'll definitely check back in with him. Hopefully he doesn't die. Real quick, 2 super chats and then to our special guests who will join us for a practice recap before we hear from Aaron Glenn. Genergy says, Connor used the word ostentatious. I don't even know that word on the show the other day. I do know that word, but barely. He's our boy genius, and I can predict many lovely ladies in his future.
I appreciate that.
Well, Genergy, do you have any nieces? I mean, come on now. Connor's going to be there on Saturday to the watch party.
Game is game. Game is game. That's all.
Shout out to you, Genergy.
Thank you for the kind words as always.
You're in the raffle for 5-2, Genergy. John says, I'm jumping out the window. Joe D to draft some foundational guys. Glenn and Fields are perfect match playoffs. I don't know if that means they're going to the playoffs. Douglas clearly did draft good players. It was beyond just the drafts that did him in. We all understand that. But we'll see. I'm very encouraged by what Glenn has done so far. And Fields, I think, is the right option once they decided to move on from Rodgers. Time will tell.
Most definitely. You couldn't have found a better replacement. I know you wanted Rodgers back, Jake, and we differed there. I wanted to go with Fields right out of the gate. We had differing opinions there, but even someone who wanted Rodgers back, Fields is the best option you can go with when it comes to a replacement, just given his upside and skill set that can reach a high ceiling at the NFL level.
Mike Perez with a super chat. He says, ever thought to yourself that Beast is an actual hamster and the attic is his cage? Just a thought. Beast, are you an actual hamster? Real quick.
Is Beast alive?
Sleeping. Uh-oh. Beast, give me a he's not even there. Did he teleport with magic?
On the
bed? I don't think he's on the bed.
No, he's not.
Beast? All right, we'll come back.
Maybe he's with an associate. Who knows?
There he is. Hey, Beast.
I gotta make a phone call soon.
Who are you calling?
I gotta call this ComEd people up.
Hey, how much was your electric bill, by the way?
4 big ones.
$400?
464. And I was like, what? I'm sitting there thinking, what the hell is going on here?
That's a lot of electricity in the attic there.
Oh, well, let's look at it. We've had nothing but heat for the last month. It's been driving me nuts.
Beast, what else do you pay for in the attic other than the computer?
My gas, water, cell phone.
What about electric here?
$60 a month.
You realize your cell phone is not
related
to your electric bill. All right, you know what? We'll have plenty of time to discuss this. I got a guy who was at practice. I would like to hear from him. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
Bim boom boom me, bim boom bim boom 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 ba, bim boom ba, bim boom ba, bim boom boom me, bim boom 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 ba.
Nick Shine, everybody. Hello, Nick.
Jake, I'm not sure which ones exactly, but you are probably breaking some laws by having a minor talk to Beast. So we might want to look into that, all right?
Well, I also had a minor do an ad for FanDuel and then do an ad for ZipRecruiter getting jobs today. So we're really blurring all the lines on the show.
Fair enough.
It's Connor's world. We're just living in it, brother.
It is.
There we go.
Connor might be 14, but let's be real. He's smarter than I would say 99% of my normal audience.
Thank you.
Wow.
Nick, tell us about practice. But before you do, great job calling into the radio show today. I think you impressed Dave Rothenberg with your call.
Great job by you getting my full name on air. I didn't want to do that, but great job by you. Thank you for the promotion.
Of course.
So at practice, right away I'm walking in. We're in the car. We're on hold. And then I see someone going to the bathroom. They come out of the porta-john. They start making a video. I look at Mark Reese. He's with me. And I'm like, that's got to be Richie. And we go over and say what's up to Richie. Richie's there shooting a video already. I spoke to him. We sat with him. And if anyone is wondering if I got one, of course I got one. There's one thing that comes along when you meet Richie. You get a sticker.
He's like
That's
Santa.
right. Let's go, baby. Yeah, take that, Jake West. Was he nice to you, or was he not nice enough?
He was very nice. I thought he was kind.
Jake West was very upset with how he apparently treated a listener of his.
I will send that sticker to Jay Quest, and he can go deliver it. I want Jay Quest to be happy. Nobody wants a pissed off Jay Quest.
No, definitely not. Kyle Clifton actually just sent in a super chat here. He goes, I want to speak up for Jay Quest. He was very. Why does StreamYard keep doing this thing where it just throws Connor full screen? I want to speak up for Jay Quest. He was very specific. Richie was simply not as engaging as he expected. Jay Quest knows, and we all know, it's nothing to judge Richie on. He later said, Richie is a good guy. All right. Well,
there we go.
All I know is Nick Shine did receive a sticker from Richie, and he approves. So, Nick, now that we established Stickergate, can you please break down your biggest observations from being in enemy territory today?
Number one, I hate humidity. That's the first thing. Secondly, I thought the Giants had a real good setup there. And
better than the Jets?
I think the setup is better because the way it flows, the way people line up for autographs, and something that drove me nuts, as we know from Trample Kidgate last year, there wasn't one kid screaming for autographs the entire practice. And you guys have been there. Breeze, breeze, breeze. None of that. So it was enjoyable to just sit there and watch practice, and the kids know that they got to line up and just wait their turn. So kudos to that. Jets come out after they open up. They stretch and all that. They're going to 7-on-7. And right away, it looked like there was a concerted effort to get the ball to the back of the end zone. You know, we know Fields has been throwing underneath, but in the 7-on-7s, they were running routes to the back of the end zone. Both teams, Martinez running the twos and Fields, it looked like there was more pushing the ball to the back instead of these short little underneath routes that we've been seeing so much of. They get to that was going on one side of the field, 7-on-7. The other side of the field, they were doing one-on-ones, offensive linemen with the D-line. And Thibodeau destroyed Membu on the first rep, doing like a Reggie White. He got him upfield, he clubbed him and came underneath, and he would have crushed the quarterback in a real situation. Brian Burns is a dog. Brian Burns was we almost saw a dead body on the field with Membu. Like, Burns was really getting into him today. So hopefully that there's some coaching with that. They can look at the film and teach him. But I it's going so fast. You got to slow it down and see, was Membu out of place? Was Burns just better than him? But Burns was a one-man wrecking crew a lot today. Lawrence, he's Dexter Lawrence, right? He's a massive human being. We're about 20 feet away from him. He threw Myers around at one point like he was nothing. The Giants' defensive front, which we all expected, gave our offensive line some fits. There was some times we held up. Olu did really good on the left side. Arian Smith, they're getting the ball to him. He made a great play.
The Jets tweeted that play out, too. Martinez threw it to him, right? The jump ball? Yeah.
I'm sure. He went up between two guys, caught it, and came down. And the 50 of us that were Jets fans that were there kind of all did. Like, we didn't overreact, but we all kind of did like the fist bump and look at each other like, yeah, nice. So
it was only 50 Jet fans? It was that imbalanced? Like, it was just...
Well, in that I could see in our area. Yeah, I would say it was 50-1. It may be more.
Were you there yesterday? I forget.
No.
I'm curious how many Giants fans to Jet fans there were yesterday for comparison. I'll have to ask Richie because he was at both.
He was. But when Fields is a little late getting the ball out at times. One time it was a Garrett Wilson in the slot. He zigged in and out about like a 7-yard route, and you saw Fields triple before he threw it, so his body wasn't into it. The ball sailed. That ball comes out on time. Garrett's able to turn up the sideline and get a huge chunk. Sauce wasn't dressed. Quinnen, JJ weren't dressed. Both kickers were drilling kicks up to 55. They both went 5 for 5, I believe. They had Edwards and Corley as a team returning kicks, and then they had Gibson and Nagagu, however you say that name.
Wangu.
Yeah, I don't know. Number 34. They were teamed up together, so they're rotating them back there. I really like that wrecking crew of Corley and Edwards together running it instead of like the smaller guys. If you can break an arm tackle on a return straight ahead, you got a chance to get a huge chunk of change. So I like the more physical guys as returners with this new design, but we'll see. What else? Defense, we didn't really get to see. I got to get to work, so we had to leave before the whole. Both teams were coming over. They were going to do their full 11 on 11, probably beat the clock drill. But
They did.
I got to beat the clock.
The Jets
to get to
moved.
work.
I could give you the breakdown. Essentially, the Jets in the move the ball period, Fields complete the Tyler Johnson, penalty on offense, false start, Brian Burns sack, complete the Brandon Smith for a new set of downs, complete the Jeremy Ruckert for 6 yards, throw behind Garrett Wilson incomplete, miss Garrett near the sideline on third down, and then practice ended. So the Jets did not score on their move the drive period at the end. They got to get – it feels like Fields and Wilson, for all the talk about how they have this built-in chemistry, it feels like they're not in sync just yet at this point.
I mean, they still haven't played together in, 5 or 6 years it was. I mean, they're still obviously going to reacclimate together. I'm
not worried because Garrett Wilson has proven to be quarterback-proof, but I think that's the next step for this offense, especially on Saturday. I'd like to see Fields and Garrett connect on a big player too.
Yeah, and I think they have their chemistry doing the routes at Ohio State, right? A lot of downfield. I think they need to develop their chemistry underneath and the short passing route timing game. So, and you don't see Garrett downfield very much. They're using him short, intermediate to use his quickness. But I would like to see a little bit more explosiveness and then that Garrett Wilson ability that we're all waiting to see week in and week out. Fields had a nice, I think it was like a 35-yard touchdown run. It was a designed run, and that he can fly. He had another run earlier. He probably would have took it for about 25 before sliding in front of the safeties. But his mobility and his acceleration, man.
How about Braylon Allen? I kept reading that he had a big day today too in the ground game.
Braylon Allen, Brees had one nice run. It was a stretch. He turned the corner. Probably 6 or 7 was his best run. But Braylon Allen, full speed, straight ahead, man, is becoming an exciting play. Like, you see him with the head of steam, good luck.
He's out of the cannon.
Yeah, he's his acceleration, he shot through the hole. You saw it the other day a little bit. Edwards had a couple nice runs. They got the ball to Braden Smith, had a real nice day. They got him the ball in traffic a bunch. He made some nice catches. They got the ball to the tight ends a lot in the 7-on-7. So overall, not a great day passing. I'll be completely honest. When they went 11 on 11, it got a little awful to be completely real.
They don't have enough weapons. That's the problem. They're wet, and Fields is not great at passing, especially to this point when he's going up against that front. Here's my question about the O-line. I was getting texts from people I trust that Simpson was not out there with the starters today. Did they rotate him in or not? I mean, Tippmann was not out there with the starters today. It was Myers. All right, did Tippmann get any run with the first team offense at center?
He did. When they first lined up, they had the 3 offensive lines with the 3 quarterbacks, and Myers was with the first group. Tippmann was with the second. Of note, Tippmann did have a high snap at one point to Martinez. That Martinez had a jump and Beastbreaker grab out of midair, but he then completed a nice pass downfield. But it was the Brees post that Martinez did there.
I do like hearing that. Anything else we missed before I go live to Aaron Glenn?
No, I think that pretty much covers everything. And thank you for having me on the radio show this morning. And I'm a little disappointed that you didn't have faith on me before they pulled me on air.
Well, I wanted to play up the bit, but I knew you were going to bring it. I knew that. When he was asking me like how many like good friends that Nick, I knew it was you because Mark sent me a DM and he goes, "Nick Shine's on hold right now," and so I knew it was you. But I was like, I have a lot of friends named Nick. It could be anyone. I don't know.
Yeah, that was fun. Keep up the great work, Connor. Keep up the great work, and ladies and gentlemen, subscribe to the Nick Shine Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Shine giving us a live recap from practice where Nick was in enemy territory and he didn't leave empty-handed though. Here's Nick Shine and Richie after Nick Shine received a coveted Richie from Jets Media sticker. All right. Take this, Jay Quest. Richie looks enthusiastic here. By the way, Jay Quest, I'm just messing with you. You know I love you. Anyway, Aaron Glenn is speaking with reporters right now after this joint practice. Let's take a listen in. We'll get to the last few calls after, and then we will give away a Garrett Wilson shirt. So last chance to enter the raffle if you want a chance to win that. Here's Aaron Glenn with Jet Reporters following the second of 2 joint practices with the New York Football Giants.
Very beginning, I could just tell during the warm-up that they were ready to go. And, I mean, that's what I expect out of our team. Going to go the way that we expect them to go, for them to come back and perform the way they did. I thought that was growth on a number of levels for us. I'm excited to see how the defense operated. Obviously, again, I was on the offensive side of the ball. But I'm very pleased the way that our guys challenged today. So, any questions?
What'd you think about how they looked in that last period, the move the ball?
The last period, as far as the 2 minute?
The offense, sorry.
The 2 minute,
Yeah,
right?
2 minute,
Yeah, the 2 minute, man, we didn't get a chance to do what we want to do in that situation. And, that was probably the only situation that I wasn't very pleased with. But I'm not going to let that get me down from a lot of things they did well today. So, again, I'm very proud of the way our guys came out and challenged. And I challenged them yesterday in the meeting, and they came out and performed the way I want them to perform.
What exactly on film that you saw yesterday that they improved, the areas that they improved at today?
Well, listen, I'm hard on our guys, and I know this is a hard game. And I said this yesterday about some of the players that they have, that it's tough to block those guys one-on-one, but I expect those guys to do it because we got some damn good players on our side of the ball too. So I'm just going to leave that at that. Just know that I'm very pleased with the way that we came out.
Did these 2 days help you accomplish things that you wanted to?
Yeah.
Does it serve as a building block for the regular season?
And I think it do. And especially a team like this with the type of players they have, obviously they have some guys that was out, but it is a building block for our guys because the heat, all the other elements that you can take into effect what happened, our guys push through it. And you have to do that because we have to play in Tampa. We have to play in Miami. And we're going to play in situations like even worse than this. So to be able to go out and just continue to push and push and push and continue to challenge, it's a huge building block for us. And we got to continue to do that.
What's the plan for Saturday, AG, in terms of starters?
The plan is the plan. That's the plan.
Put that on a
Next
shirt.
question.
Aaron,
The plan is the plan.
Brandon Stevens had tight coverage a couple times down the field on the field I was on. And
Yep.
Just the overall training camp that he's had coming.
Well, that's one player that I've been talking about for the longest during camp. I mean, I can go back to OTAs and how he's been operating. He's everything that we imagine. He's big, he's physical, he has like really good coverage skills. I'm looking forward to seeing how he progresses, not through training camp and during the season. The one thing that we have to continue to work on is him being able to get his hands on the ball. So I don't know if he got to pick anything like that today, but he's a damn good player, and I'm glad we have him.
I think you said earlier that he was one of your most improved players.
Yep.
So in what areas? Like, what have you seen?
Confidence, for one. 2, listen, I knew he was big and athletic, but his cover skills, so I don't want to say if he improved on that, because you saw it when he was in Baltimore, man, but just the way he's going out and operating and like his mentality coming out to practice every day is unbelievable. And it's contagious with other guys too. So, and I would tell you this, anytime you have a corner on the opposite side of a really good corner, man, they start to push each other. So I think he's pushing Sauce on his coverage ability too. And you want that with your teammates.
One guy that seemed to be popping today was Brandon Smith. What intrigues you about him?
B. Smitty, I mean, he's been doing that since OTAs also. It's nothing new. That's the one guy I probably haven't talked about enough. But, man, I like where he's at, and he's steady improving on a daily basis. So, listen, it's good when your younger guys, all right, are showing up because now it pushes the older guys. They got to get going because this is going to be a team of the bestest guys going to be here and the guys that fit us.
One guy we haven't asked you about in a while.
Yep.
Corley obviously missed this spring.
Yep.
He was a little behind. Where is
Yep.
he now?
Man, he's catching up to everything that we're doing, and he's a part of the rotation. So every day he's working his ass off to earn a job like everybody else.
Special teams, it looks like.
Absolutely, he's working his ass off to earn a job.
Does Phil's presence impress you? It's not an arrogance. It's like a confidence. Even when he's just walking out.
I'm gonna say this again. He is a very mature man. And for the 15th, 16th, or 17th time, I expect that out of him. So nothing changes with that guy. I'm just telling you right now, he's always going to be steady Eddie. And nothing takes him too high, nothing takes him too low. I mean, he just stays above board and continue to work. And that's the good thing about him. That's the trait that you don't see with a lot of people in general. But for a quarterback to have that trait, it is outstanding. Because it doesn't matter. whatever happens, man, he's going to continue to work.
Take a couple more. We've seen a lot of short passes to the backs and underneath. Is that by design or is that Justin taking checkdowns?
He's progressing. He's progressing. That's what he's doing. He's being a quarterback. I know everybody wants to see the long ball, but he's progressing. That's as simple as I can answer that question.
When you do play the starters in preseason games, how do you determine when enough is enough? Is that just a feel thing, or are there like some benchmarks you're looking for?
When I think it's enough.
What's the rest of the week look like for you? Just like tomorrow, obviously. I mean,
we'll get together. We'll watch the tape. We'll watch some today, and we'll finish it up tomorrow. Friday we'll have a walkthrough, and then we'll get ready to play.
Right here, last one.
Aaron, I know it's a fine line. You don't want it to get too chippy, but on that field it got a little chippy, and Jamie Sherwood's was kind of like the tone setter.
Yep.
Can he be as physical as you guys want to play? Can he be that tone setter?
Well, that's one of the reasons we got him. Is not only is he a tone setter, but he has a voice that everybody listens to. And you want that out of your middle linebacker who's actually standing in front of the huddle, because it's a respect factor when it comes to that regard. So, listen, these practices, they'll get chippy every now and then, but these are grown men and they're not kids. They understand how to get work in. And the one thing I told the guys is, listen, we compete, but we protect. And I think the guys did a good job of that.
Thanks, everybody.
All righty.
Real quick, I guess we tuned in too late for it. Sauce Gardner, the reason why he didn't practice today, Aaron Glenn said he has calf soreness. Yes. So I don't think it's that serious, but anytime you hear calf, take as much time as you need, Sauce. He's at a great camp. Yep. Bubble wrap. He'll be fine. I'm not worried. Make sure he's healthy. A couple notes from Glenn's presser there that I wrote down. He challenged the team after he thought they weren't good enough on offense yesterday. It sounded like he challenged the O-line in particular. He acknowledged how good the Giants offensive line is, or defensive line, excuse me, but he challenged them to go out there and be better today. And Glenn, for the second day in a row, said he was with the offense and was very pleased with the effort all around, singled out Fields for going through his progressions. He's not concerned about the lack of downfield plays. He says he's doing what he's supposed to do as the quarterback. The big takeaway was when he was asked about the preseason plan for Saturday, he gave you nothing. And we won't hear from Aaron Glenn now until after the game on Saturday, because the Jets do not practice tomorrow or Friday. You heard Glenn say Friday is a walkthrough, so media not there. Quote, the plan is the plan. When asked about what the plan is for the starters on Saturday, I think they're going to play Connor, but we're not going to have any idea for how long.
I think we'll see starters for at least one series in these remaining 2 preseason games. I think they want to get these guys reps. How long? Again, Aaron Glenn said when he thinks it's enough, that's when it's enough. So we have no idea how long. I thought I was going to see him out for at least 3 possessions against the Packers, and we saw him for 1 series, march down the field, score a touchdown.
I think it's a quarter on Saturday is my read on it. I think it's at least 1 full quarter for both starters on offense and defense Saturday.
Okay, I'd say about at least like 2 or 3 possessions, so equals out to about a quarter. Similar thought process there.
Brandon Stevens singled out. You could tell when Glenn likes a player, he goes above and beyond in the praise. So good to hear what he felt about Stevens. Somehow in Connor's Jake Asman show background, it's now thundering and lightning behind him.
It's sunny skies right here up in the Adirondacks, so I don't know where thunder came from, but yes, there is thunder.
Did you notice when asked about Malachi Corley, he just lumped him in with he's competing for a job, and that was it? I don't think Malachi Corley's making this team. No. That answer from Glenn did nothing to make me change my thought.
Yeah, you see the guys that Aaron Glenn really likes and is able to go in depth about. You mentioned it, like Brandon Stevens there. Even Brandon Smith is someone he spoke about and kind of went above and beyond to praise there. He did it with Clemens as well. I just don't think Malachi Corley has a role on this team, and I mean, you don't think Aaron Glenn knows about the attitude issues from last year and the dropping the ball before crossing the end zone. Corley has no spot in this team, in my opinion. And AG has been talking about Brandon Stevens since OTAs. He's looked sharp in camp. You hope the $36 million man plays up to the high standards.
Aaron Glenn, pleased with how the offense responded after yesterday, besides the 2-minute drive at the end. He said he challenged them in meetings, so I do like to hear that. Let's see. What else did we miss here? Sauce is having tests on his calf for the soreness, so hopefully it's not too severe. It'll be okay. Want to make sure we didn't miss anything here. It sounds like that is the main crux. of the information. Glenn won't say that if the starters will play. The plan is the plan. We covered that. I think they're going to play. It doesn't seem like you wouldn't play them after you played them in the first game. It's just for how long. That's the question. B Heights checks in. AG is our Coach Boone, not Aaron Boone. Coach Herman Boone, baby. Have you seen Remember the Titans, Connor?
I have. Coach Boone, what a legend, my friend.
Coach Boone,
what
baby.
A legend.
The best line in that film is when the, I guess it's the defensive coordinator. He says, I don't want them to gain another yard. And it's like the first quarter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Holding down the fort there. When it comes to those like sport-esque movies, I'm a big Rookie of the Year fan. Henry Bowen Gardner, that movie was one for the ages, along with Remember the Titans.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching live right now, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Come watch the Jets and the Giants with me, Connor, and a bunch of Asmaniacs this Saturday at T Squared Social. Lock in your spot if you haven't. $18 tickets, free beer, free shot, raffle ticket. You automatically are entered to win a framed and signed Breece Hall jersey. 2 tickets to Jets Panthers in the Asmaniac section. Signed Corbett jersey. Signed Glenn jersey. And I haven't announced another prize, but oh boy, it's coming. It is coming. Cheeseman says Ryan Gosling is a liability in coverage. Ryan Gosling was the biggest liability in coverage I have seen since Kyle Wilson. Like Ryan Gosling's coverage in that movie was Kyle Wilson-esque, for those who haven't seen Remember the Titans.
Dude, it was that was iconically awful. Like you can't get much poor than that. It's worse than watching Michael Clemens trying to sack a quarterback or pick up on a read option.
BP York says I'll be there. BP, I think you bought a ticket, right? I'm connecting the dots now. Lock in your spot, folks. $18, but it does increase by $5 on Friday, so save yourself some money. Big Country Super Chat cuts the line. Connor, where in the Adirondacks are you? It's storming where I am. I'm also in. How do you pronounce this town? AU Sable Forks?
No clue. I'm not an upstate person by any measure. I'm about 30 minutes north of Lake George, so I'm all the way up there. And yeah, it's blue. Let's see. We'll try to flick it over here. It's blue. Oh, you can't even see it without the. Let's try to remove the background here. It's blue skies, but then you hear the thunderstorms. So I don't know what's happening here in upstate New York.
Zachary says, show us the Arian Smith catch. I cannot because my channel will get flagged like what happened yesterday, which is crazy, but that is the reality here. All right. Couple calls left. Then we will do the raffle. Connor did a great job doing the first hour of the show. I joined in progress an hour in. We just heard from Aaron Glenn. We will break down more of this joint practice with Dylan Terraman in the afternoon. But right now, let's check in with a man who needs to pay his electric bill. Is he even there? Beast, do you read us? Beast.
Thumbs up.
What are you doing, Beast?
Reading.
Well, come over here. I have some questions for you.
11, 10.
Come on. You lost 70 pounds, you claimed, over the last 3 months. You should be able to move easy.
There we are. Very good. Let's do that later.
Look at that blubber, Beast. You look great.
I'm old. I feel good, but I feel like an old man. Breaking up. Throw me some sliders. I can sure take up on White Castle. What you crave.
How's the bet? Is it confirmed that it's fixed?
We're looking at possibly maybe 50, 55, 60%. But we're just praying for the best.
Also, I'm pooping right now says that you don't pay any bills, so stop saying that. It's an insult to the working folks.
Hey, jack off. Go.
Whoa,
fish.
Whoa. Calm down.
I don't need this.
Calm down.
I'm going to go like Vince Russo and just say,
down.
I don't need this shit today.
Calm down. Let me bring on my guy that can help you stay calm. Gary, what do you have to say to Beast?
You gotta control your emotions better, bro. Like, you're a grown man. Like, you gotta handle things better than having an outburst every time someone says something you don't like.
Gary, do I conduct myself better than Beastbreaker?
Far better. You're 14?
Yes.
Yeah, you're far more mature in your handling of things you don't like than Beast. You gotta come on, Beast. Acting. Look, the level. If he was in my gym, I'd kick him out. He can take zero constructive criticism. You don't want to listen to me? Get out of my gym, right? Like, it's fine. My feelings aren't hurt. But the level, like, he takes constructive criticism worse than any woman I've ever seen in my life. It's like, bro, like,
You just Gary just can't help himself.
I don't even think he's a bad guy. I don't even think he's stupid. I really don't. I think there's obviously something not all there, but I think he's a decent guy. I don't think he means any ill intent, but like, you got to control your emotions. Life is filled with things that you don't like. Like, life is how you respond to things. The only thing you can control in your own life is how you respond to things. There's nothing else in life that you can control. Just how you respond to things. You're going to have an emotional tizzy every time something doesn't happen. Not going to go well.
Cheeseman wrote abracadabra. Thank you, Cheeseman. Man with a rake says, Jake, do we have a legitimate kicking game? Nick Falk was 6 for 6 today. Hit 2 kicks, one from 53, I read, and one from 55. I think Nick Falk is clearly the kicker. Look at the guarantees they gave him in his contract. So, yes, I think signing Nick Falk to this point was my favorite signing the Jets have made this offseason. So I am fully on board with that. Also, Big Country, he says that he's an hour from you. Have fun. And Connor, you're doing a great job.
Appreciate the kind words, my friend.
Mike Dems gifted a channel membership. Raffles coming up here. I just wanted to check in with Beast. Earlier, we learned that his bed frame broke. He claims to have fixed it. He did a Garrett Wilson catch earlier. And Beast, you said that it still remains intact, correct?
60%, but we're
60%.
not sure yet.
Well, Beast, you told me that you have a 140 IQ. So shouldn't you be able to get it back to 100%?
Once you have a 140 IQ, you're already set.
Yeah, if your IQ is really...
I have a friend in New York who has the same IQ just like I do. Joel
What is it
Gardner.
again? Wait, what's your IQ again? 140?
140. And I have the same IQ just like one of my guys from New York who I met a long time ago, the great Joel Gardner. You know who I'm talking about, Mr. Well. It is I, the quintessential stud muffin, Joel. I've been everywhere across the United States, east, west, north, south, up and down. But the chicks in New York City are the hottest things walking around the earth today. I've been with what?
They don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
But
Hey, please, give me a Garrett Wilson catch. There's a lot of new viewers in. All right, let's make sure the bed is working. Is everything's according to plan? You're gonna have to move your mic that's not plugged in though. That serves no purpose. Thank you.
It's really not plugged in. I thought that was a joke.
People think it's a bit. It's true. He has a microphone that does nothing. It doesn't make any sense.
I thought you were joking.
No, it's not plugged in.
It's not. He just picked it up. It wasn't plugged in.
He likes the colors, but it's not actually serving any purpose. That's why his audio is shit.
This is extraordinary.
No mercy! No mercy! Get ready! Draw! George Dean! 63! Get ready! 318! Get ready! Set! Hut!
Is the bed still standing, Beast? I see a thumbs up, but I don't hear you. Normally, you're very expressive. Unless you just passed out there. Beast, you alive?
He only weighs 244 pounds, guys. I don't know if he passed
Beast,
out.
you should be moving and grooving.
244, yeah. That's what he weighs.
Cheeseman wants to know, did you fix your bed with Magic, Beast? I think he's doing the middle finger there.
Yeah.
J-Lock says, I love your hair, Beast. It really must get the girls hot and bothered.
I like it. He was talking about all the women he gets from all over the world, and he said New York City has the hottest, in his opinion.
B Heights wants to know where you got your bed from, and he wants it.
Why don't you try Mattress Firm?
Mattress Firm, got it. Hey, shout out to Quill Ross. Jake, so glad to catch it live. I watch all your shows at work by downloading them. Huge fan since 7,000 subs. We'll be a first-time caller maybe tomorrow or Friday. Quill, that's very kind of you, man. Would love to have you on the show. Call in and anytime you want. Let's see. Dylan says, I think Beast still fields cadence. No mercy. No mercy. Gary, any thoughts here on Beast or anything else you called in, or can I go to the raffle soon?
No. So first, this is something else. Connor, you're doing a tremendous job.
Thank you.
Don't let Jake sway you. He doesn't have to take you on a bender when you're 21.
No, Jake's taking me on a bender. I'm holding.
That's degeneracy, and you can see this with the Jets, right? Like Justin Fields, Aaron Glenn, they have their head on straight, right? Justin Fields came out yesterday. Says he's addicted to the Bible, that he learns something new every day reading the Bible. Aaron Glenn implemented a Bible study into the Jets camp.
That was never confirmed, by the way. I don't know if that's true. That was like just put out there, but no, I don't think he's ever been asked.
Yeah,
about
that account, ML Football, they put the Fields thing out too. I don't know if a lot of stuff they put out is accurate. I know the guy who runs it. He's a great guy. He follows me. And
Fields said the Bible quote yesterday, but the Glenn Bible study thing, I'm not saying it's not true. I don't think that was ever confirmed, so I'm not running with that.
All right. What I'm saying is they're moving away from a organization of degeneracy where you have one quarterback who's a sexual deviant, you have another quarterback who's doing weird drugs in the woods and stuff, and they're moving towards a team of order and a team of priority. So it's a good sign. So what I'm saying is follow that, Connor. Don't go out to Vegas. I've been to Vegas a dozen times or more. It's a toilet. Okay, like it's really one of the worst.
Circa is not a when Connor turns 21 and I take him to the stadium swim and the
I'm not gonna
we have a great steak dinner.
I'm sure Circa is excellent, Jake. I know
it's an amazing place, Gary.
It's an amazing place. So go to Circa. Don't go on a bender. Like you can go to Vegas and not act like a degenerate, but degeneracy is just right there in front of you. Like Vegas is really I can't say it's my least favorite city because they're like
Detroit.
Oklahoma City, Detroit. It's like I never want to be in those places. Right?
I have no intentions of consuming alcohol. I have no intentions of gambling my life away or doing anything that'll make me like Beast in a global studio headquarter. So yeah, I have no intentions of that. I'm just holding Jake to that. Jake, I'm gonna go back and screen record this very clip, and the day I turn 21 on July 15th, whatever year that'll be, I don't want to do
7 years from now, Connor. The Jets will be on their third head coach since Aaron Glenn by then, and it will be a magical time.
Just keep your eye on the prize, right? Like there's a lot of people with talent who let degeneracy get the better of them, like Johnny Manziel, for example, right? Like don't go down that path. Just keep your eye on the ball, and you'll be good, right?
Yeah.
And Justin Fields, at least they're going in the right direction there, right? At least if it doesn't.
Let him be a kid, Gary. It's fine. Now, as far as the super chat from Big Country, he says, Beast, you need a bigger shirt, maybe a 4X. Have you thought about that? Beast, unmute your mic.
Oh, the mic's plugged in now.
No, yeah, this is why we can't hear him. This is what I mean.
Beast, unmute.
Beast, hit the unmute button. You didn't need to plug in the mic. It wasn't actually connected to your StreamYard.
He needs a good size 11 in the ass. And I'm talking the Red Foreman kind. You know, the old thing of, how would you like to hear this thing called, or read a book called where my foot goes directly in your ass?
25 says, how many months pregnant are you?
Are you retarded?
Whoa. Family show.
Rejected. Sorry.
God, what are we doing here?
That was
oh my God.
I just wrote that. But you see the reaction. Someone says, "What do you 4X or whatever he said," and that's how he reacts. Like, control yourself, Beast. Like,
by the way, 25. All right, Beast is not pregnant, and Big Country Beast is a 2X. Thank you very much, not a 4.
If that's a 2X, he ain't no 2X. Right?
Hey, Beast, are you a 2X after you lost the 70 pounds? Unmute your mic.
I've been at 2X for a while now, so it's for everyone's information. You don't like what you see. Hey, you know the old saying? Change the channel. Change the channel.
Is that the old saying?
Is that the old saying? Who said that?
The ECW crowd did that in 2006 at the old Manhattan Ballroom in New York City for one of the ECW shows. I seen it live as I saw it and heard it and went, wow, change the channel. That's a new hit. I like that. You know, hey, change the channel. You know what this means? Change the channel. Just use the remote control and go. Is there anything on TV or what's the deal?
Hey, 25 says you're the new Octomom. Is this true?
25 has an IQ no lower than Dollar Tree toilet paper and cheap
Does
underwear.
he have a lower IQ than you?
Yeah, 140. 140 IQ would probably, I think, comfortably put you in the top 1% of all human intelligence. So he's in the top 1% of all human intelligence. He's a 3-time Person of the Year, Man of the Year, and he broke Roger Maris's home run record in 2001 when he was in high school. Like this is quite.
Oh,
in Little League. this is quite extraordinary. This is quite a life. Yeah. I actually believe that he played high school baseball. I do. He's got a decent swing. He doesn't look like he doesn't know what he's doing.
It's because I've learned from Mickey Mantle and I learned from Roger Maris and Joe.
He did.
Joe Keith.
I mean, Roger Maris was dead before he was born, but he learned from him. It's really quite
He
extraordinary.
died in 1985 because look what he had. Look what he had done to him.
Maybe you were alive. Were you alive when he was born? You might have just been alive.
I was already one at the time.
Okay.
Before
All right.
Hey, not to get sidetracked, but this one here is from Big Country. Says, like I said, 4X Fat Boy.
You know what? In the words of the one guy, nobody gives a shit.
Beast, you have a lot of quotes. I want to hear in the words of Beastbreaker, though.
What are Beast thoughts?
What are like original Beast quotes, not other people's quotes that you then quote?
I've learned from them all. Ric Flair is one of them. Harley races another, and the good old Dusty Rhodes. Let me just say it. You might have hard times, but just remember, don't get funky with me, boy. Remember, I'm the original master of fucking like a monkey. But just remember, I'm like Dusty Rhodes. I'm sexy. I'm smart. But I can sure as hell, I can kick your big old ass.
All right. Any other thoughts, Gary? Or can I move on to the raffle and end the show?
I have a question for Gary.
Oh, go ahead.
Gary, do you recommend if when I get a my first hosting job where I fill in on a show like how Jake fills in on ESPN, do you recommend to set the tone to the directors and the boss that I tell them in my job interview that I don't think women should be allowed to vote?
You're hosting a sports show, correct? I mean, if you're hosting a show on women's rights to vote, then yes. If you're hosting a show on the Jets or New York sports or sports in general, I don't really see how that's relevant.
No, but I'm saying like in the job interview, for example, if they're like asking about my ethics, like what do you think would happen if I just said, made a take like yours and said like women shouldn't be allowed to vote? What do you think would happen?
I don't know, right? I can't control what other people respond to. I wouldn't put that out there in an interview unless it's relevant to the topic you're discussing. And first of all, you got a real fill-in show. You're filling in for Jake's show. Jake's show gets more viewers than I would say the vast majority of sports talk shows throughout the country. Now, New York's a little different because there's 10 million people in the city and 30 million in the area. But like, if you take a sports show somewhere in Laredo, Texas, the morning talk show, I guarantee you Jake gets more views than that.
You're not wrong. I did radio in Houston. There are more people that consume this show every day than the people we had on the third station in Houston.
Houston's a big city. It's not New York, but Houston's a big city, and he's getting more. This is a real thing. This is a real thing.
Takes the ball.
People would be shocked how the reach of this show compared to the afternoons in Houston. Like that's why I still do this full time and why I've added the part-time radio stuff and I turned down full-time radio jobs over the last 2 years because I'm doing way better doing this and it's more fun.
Oh yeah, baby.
This is you could put this on a resume. You filled in for Jake Asman multiple times. You're a fill-in host on the Jake Asman show. That's a real gig. Don't sell yourself short.
Connor's the man. He's doing a great job. Gary, that was a good point to end on. I don't want to ask you anything else about women's rights or anything because I don't want to piss off half the audience. But 4%
of the audience.
Well, I think there's a lot of men who think that you're a fool as well, but I won't go there today.
But I think there's a silent minority of people who agree with me. But
ladies and gentlemen, stop what you're doing and point.
He's pointing. Garrett Box pointing at you. Garrett Box pointing at you. Garrett Box. I'm pointing. I'm pointing. I'm pointing. I'm pointing. Garrett Box point at you.
Yeah. Points for everybody. We're pointing, all right.
Oh yeah, baby.
Yes. All right. I'm not even going to try and play the raffle video because I'm having major glitches here, but I do have the wheel. Here are all the entries from today's stream. We're going to give away a Garrett Wilson t-shirt from my merch store. If you win, you have to email me what your size is and what color you want the t-shirt in, and I will get it ordered for you today. Once again, this Garrett Wilson shirt that you see on the screen is what we're playing for. And if you want your own, jakeasman.com/shop. Get your merch there. It doesn't just have to be this one. It could be an Asmaniac shirt, bucket hat, anything you want. It's all there in my merch store. Okay, Wheel of Champions. Connor, time to spin it.
Oh,
Who's
yeah.
going to win? We will find out all together right now.
Hey,
Jenergy. I love it. I don't think it will be arriving in time for Saturday, Jenergy, but our next watch party, I'm expecting you to be rocking the G5 shirt. Jenergy, send me your t-shirt size, and I think I still have your address on file. But either way, congratulations to Jenergy, a true Jet fan. Fantastic. Love seeing a diehard Jet and Asmaniac win a great prize. Connor, you did a great job. Austrian Jet fan said you did a great job all the way from Austria. He wrote awesome combo. Thank you, Austrian Jet fan. Hope you're doing well. Connor, anytime you want to call in, anytime you need something, you let me know. Everyone go subscribe to Connor's channel. I posted his link in the chat earlier. I'm going to do it again right now. And we will be back this afternoon. Dylan Terraman will join us. We'll have more reaction from practice. We'll hear from some of the players, and I will read some of the stories out there on what actually happened. We heard Nick Shine's take. We'll get a bunch of opinions and figure out what it all means. Plus, Glenn said the plan is the plan for the starters. We don't know what that plan is, so we'll get into that this afternoon as well. But a great job by Connor Long. My name is Jake Asman. Buy your watch party ticket for Saturday if you haven't. Thanks again to Connor for filling in. Everyone who called in, you guys were outstanding. And I'm going to end the show with a video that I believe is perfect to play on a day like today. And what that video is, if it loads, you'll see shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, sit back and enjoy the magic of a Robert C. first ever call. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is someone with the greatest camera quality you will ever see. Robert C. is up next. Hello, Robert.
So I try to pull up your channel on YouTube. What the Jets need to do is win.
Robert, thank you for the call. I don't know if that's your camera, if you're hanging out with Weed the People, if you're in a sauna, but that was great.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.